Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very big stream. This is the SCL8 Regular Championship Finals. This is a big match. So, joining me today is Slappy Davis.
Hello. Have we done all of CRAM's bracket run? I think we might
We've
have.
Yeah, we've done a lot of CRAMs, and when I say a lot of CRAMs, I mean a lot. Because for those who don't remember, CRAMs, we just saw CRAMs play Bryce. That was 2 rounds ago, and it was the match that not tied, that beat the record for the longest Spy Party competitive match ever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just feel like you and I have casted a lot of CRAMs in the last few weeks here. But yeah, no, it destroyed that record. I quite possibly one of those records that will never be broken. And so it is kind of like set up quite a narrative for CRAMs because that was CRAMs' first match in the bracket. And then from there, like just kept being crazy. But we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're C-Rams, imagine playing, was it, 80 games of overtime just to make it here. You really want to take the whole thing now. But Beanie's path here has actually been surprisingly smoother. I mean, just last week, Beanie beat Gentleman 10-1. And if you go back to the regular season, right, Beanie and C-Rams were both in gold. Both of them placed right near the top of gold, but Gentleman was actually the number one seed going into this by being first in gold. And C-Rams just beat them last week, 10 to, or Beanie beat Gentleman last week, 10-1. So it's like on paper, it kind of looks like Beanie stomped their way here, whereas C-Rams actually had a surprisingly difficult road. But both of these players are still pretty evenly matched, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. And the normally I would say that so you have the regular season and then you have the bracket and then I mean players are still developing and still like getting into their skill while they're going through the championship. But like automatically CRMs has had more practice, I guess in a way, but also potentially more like fatigue in their path. So it's hard to say if like the since the last time they've met they have developed and changed it all, right?
Yeah. And what's interesting is that during the regular season, the only person that Beanie ever lost to was C-Rams. Now, granted, it was a 5-7 scoreline, so it was very close. And both of them got at least 1 or 2 spy wins during that. So today is definitely going to be a set where any game could go either way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like with gold in particular. So one of the things that happens with Beanie is that Beanie sets can be more lopsided because if his spy is on, like that's when you start really getting lopsided sets, right? Is if your spy is on fire because if both snipers are really good, that's when you start to see results like C-Rams where they can go really long because the snipers just tend to win out and it really extends the set length, right? But Beanie, their spy has been a little bit stronger, but their sniper hasn't been, so they'll have these lopsided results more often than CRAM. So it's like hard to tell what's gonna come out of this. Is Beanie's spy gonna be able to crack CRAM's sniper more, or is it gonna shift more where it's gonna be still a sniper dominated set? And then we'll just probably have one of these longer ones. Very rarely do we have a really long set of spy domination. It's been quite a while, but I suppose that's also on the table, but doesn't seem likely given the profiles of these players.
Yeah, because like during the regular season, C-Rams had the highest sniper win rate in their division, and then Beanie had this highest spy win rate in their division. So it almost feels like fate. I mean, it's sad for Gentlemen that they didn't make it here, but you've got the best sniper of gold versus the best spy of gold. And gold is as high as you can go before reaching, the Masters circuit. So on one hand, it's not too surprising to see these players here, but it was definitely an upset that Gentlemen didn't make it to the end at all. So yeah, this should be a really good match. It should be a really close match, and the question is just going to be, can Beanie pull out the spy wins against C-Ram's dominant sniper? So let's take a look at the draft. It looks very similar to the draft the last time they played. These players haven't really changed their preferences in venues that much. Last time they played, C-Rams won, in part mostly by doing a little bit better, just slightly winning the split on Moderne. But Beanie doesn't mind, isn't going to ban it or anything. They both like Ballroom, that's for sure. They both got spy wins on Ballroom last time, and we're going to be seeing Ballroom again at the end here.
Yeah, and just looking at these doubles, this is one where these feel winnable. I am quite sad about Redwoods. I do know and expected C-Rams to ban out Redwoods, but I would just really love to see these two player play on it. So I'm a little bit sad about that. But I think the draft does look pretty dynamic and interesting. And I will say, they might regret not. I guess if the restrict would have mattered, but not banning balcony, because so when we were seeing that bracket earlier, there might have been a discrepancy between what it sounded like you were saying, like, oh, C Rams' path was really hard, because it looked like C Rams beat Hypixer 10-4, but that is because they tied in the main set and then they had to stop and then they just played another set. And what they did do in that second set is banned out Ballroom because they did not want, similar to kind of how Bryce and C-Rams treated Ballroom. Sorry, I keep saying Ballroom.
Balcony?
Balcony. Balcony, they did not want it to determine their set, right? Because, you know, the sniper has less control. It can be kind of coin flippy. So if this does go into overtime, which, oh my God, I kind of hope we don't open up that can of worms. Balcony will be in play, and we'll see how they kind of treat that.
Yeah, and so since this is the finals, this is a best of 22. The winner is the first to 12 points. So, regardless of how it goes, we're going to be here for a while. Let's get into the games. Our first game is on Moderne. This is doubled Moderne. This is C-Ram's choice, somewhere he feels very comfortable. And we've got C-Ram spying first, playing as Irish, also known as Green Dress. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And so this is a venue where I think C-Rams has a pretty typical game plan. I think we saw this a lot with C-Rams versus Bryce, where they would very often go for fingerprints and probably also a microfilm. I think C-Rams typically doesn't go for the boldest spy plays, which is why maybe they favor the microfilm, just give the sniper time to forget which book you took. But when C-Rams was able to get some wins against Bryce, it was often by just doing some sort of bold, unusual spy play. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing any of that today.
Yeah, and this is where, so when we were watching that Bryce set, the snipers were really on top of it early on, and then as they kind of got worn down, it became a little bit harder on them. So we have Moderne, which is just as an opening venue. Um, Moderne is there's a lot of reliance, or sorry, you're going to be at the whim of what the party's going to kind of give you a lot of the time. You have a really hard time forcing what you want for a lot of Moderne. Like if you want to do Purloin, better hope there's a lot of bar visitors. If you want to do inspects, well, you better hope there's a mix of people that have done at least partial inspects so you don't look like the only one. Fingerprints, you better hope that ambassadors actually moving around and dropping fingerprints. All those kinds of things. Everything, you need a little bit of what the party gives you. So it's both a good starting venue in that if you're starting in a spy, you can kind of like, okay, I just need to commit to what I'm given by the party. And what we're given by the party right now is a banana bread opportunity that is actually very good for Moderne. There's not that many people knocked out. There is a statue visitor, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I'd take that.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a good position. We got a difficult fingerprint off of this drink. You know, the ambassador visited the bar at the start. There weren't too many other visitors. The thing is, the next person to visit the bar after the ambassador was the double agent. And so some snipers might not really be thinking about the double agent. So they might be like, oh, Irish was the first person to go get a drink after the ambassador. So I don't know if Beanie is crediting us with a print or not. But either way, it's good that we got the difficult. It might very well work out in our favor. And it means we have a good amount of progress done at this point. With 2 minutes left on the clock, we're just going to need one more fingerprint and one more mission after that. But I don't know if that last mission can just be inspects or something. We might still want to find time to do a hard tell.
Yeah, well, it looks like books is going to be the spot where Ambassador goes. We might have preferred Ambassador drop a fingerprint, and Ambassador does walk away, so it'll be a while before that fingerprint's active, and they're not going to be, really activating any other fingerprints while that's going on, unless this briefcase return goes through, which it does not. So it is a difficult on that briefcase, which we do seem to be eyeing up potentially. We'll see if we actually go for it. We'd have to go now-ish, and it doesn't seem like we're going to. So we do want to find one more fingerprint, of course. It's going to be a while before that book. We have to do something else in here. There's just not that much we really want to do. It does look like Purloin's going to be a play. Maybe we're going to jam ourselves really close because we kind of don't want that drink in our hands if we're going to do the Purloin.
No,
I
and
guess
the
one question
ambassador
is
is
what.
putting the book now. So we really don't want a drink in our hands if we want to be able to go to the bookcase. I wonder if we will deny this or if C-Rams will go through with it. It's just the party wasn't giving us anything and like a whole minute passed by and now it's suddenly looking really dicey. So Toby offers us the drink. We are going to take it with the delegate option. So our ideal circumstance now would be to delegate this to someone and then go get the fingerprint. But there hasn't been too much else going on at the party, and I think Beanie could just be on top of the Purloin chain, and we might just die if we tried to do that. So I'm really worried for C-Rams here.
Well, we'd be sending to a suspected double agent here in a second. We could also try to do a swap. Okay, no, we are going to do a delegate here. We're going to gulp at the end of this. Just like 2 sip gulp, so it's not too bad. I do think that Beanie will probably be on top of this a little bit. There will be what we call this pending overtime during this, which will be kind of not great looking for us, because that's really going to wind it down to only swaps or purloins. So, okay, so Beanie is knowing right now it's either swap or purloin. Nobody is going to a statue right now. Oh, I guess Taft is, but it does not look like there's anyone in the swap there. We know it's a purloin, and
I have to be honest, I don't know. My game just paused.
yeah, mine did too. I was like, oh no, did I accidentally hit
Uh,
a button? And did I hit a button? I was gonna rely on Dell's. I also don't have a finish to this. Did it?
this game didn't
This
end.
game
Is
didn't
this a
end.
glitch?
I'm gonna guess this is a timeout. Do we know what happened?
Maybe it's a glitch where the purloin timed out and so the game never registered it. I don't know. Wait a minute. The purloin got set. Okay, we picked up the purloin at 46 seconds left on the clock. How long do you have before a purloin times out?
Uh, oh god,
Because at this point
a minute.
it's been about 55 seconds since we picked up the purloin. It must have timed out, and C-Rams must have lost.
That has to be the case, I think. But do we know? Because like the thing is, like I kind of want to drop this replay in the Tony Neal's parser because the parser makes a choice. I guess I don't know. Nebula, you're muted right now. Do you know what happened?
I don't know, but I've never I don't think I've ever seen this before in any I've just literally never seen this before, a replay that just ends without a result. We're breaking history again.
Okay,
Okay,
that so then
it was a
in
timeout.
the
We can
out
just
thing.
assume,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Because,
that
like,
sounds
yeah.
right.
There was a long lineup at the bar, and even though we sent off that purloin, it just never got around to taking. Okay, C-Rams timed out. Well, that's an exciting way to start start the set. Really leaving everyone in suspense there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's one. Someone remember to drop this in the bug report. So because that is a bug. We normally would see a timeout because that has happened before. Is you delegate, it takes too long, and somebody times out. That's not this is not the first time that's happened, but that's the first time I've seen it just straight up end.
strange. Okay, so that means that Beanie got the first point. We don't know if Beanie was on top of it and would have shot for the purloin. We just don't know. Very similar to how the game ended. We really have no idea what Beanie was thinking, but Beanie gets the point. Beanie spying now as Sabin in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Imagine if every single game in the set ended that way. Imagine if there was just like a weird lag issue due to time zone issues and every game ends without us knowing and we just have to piece it together like one of those puzzle games.
That's true. Yeah, like the or like a Sumego kind of like version where it's like, okay, this is the last frame of the game. Can you figure out if what the win was, who won, and what the win thing was? That's crazy. I don't think I've seen that happen ever. But I do like your theory that I think it's probably something to do with the fact that these players live super far away from each other. We have one Canadian player, one New Zealand player. So there is probably a lot of lag. That also does mean that if the players are aware of that, they need to be careful about their shots, making sure that they shoot nice and early so that you don't get too late for sinks. So that is also a good thing to be aware of. We do hit a white microfilm at the bookcase. There's a little bit of activity with near Ambassador, so it's possible we missed it. C-Rams is usually pretty good about that, and I guess Salmon's is not the worst. Oh, no, we have a flash on Ambassador, which kind of makes me feel like we caught this thing. But then again, we've tried
Yeah.
to interpret C-Rams' flashes before, and who knows what that means.
Oh god, yeah, the flash language is really evolving. I think if you're flashing the ambassador, it's because you're trying to tell the viewers, I saw something, I know who the spy is. And considering the spy did just do a white microfilm, pretty close to the ambassador actually, I think we can assume that Beanie is the top suspect right now, but we never know with these flashes.
Yeah, and we've had
Just more.
we have more flashes, yeah, and we have the opportunity to. So I guess one thing that I do know about C-Rams is C-Rams will highlight for. Oh, we have a flash on Alice there. That's actually interesting. That's a little bit different. That or C-Rams is just also messing with us. But one thing is that C-Rams won't highlight suspicion. He'll only highlight threat in these situations, I think. So we may not want to highlight our target because we didn't want to whip our laser over, confirm that we saw the transfer. But also, we may just want to keep in mind what we think the progress level is, right? And not actually highlight until we feel like something else. There's another flash on. Okay, well, we'll
Smallman. It,
see how
it
it
could be
goes.
for fingerprints because I think someone mentioned the theory that you flash your laser. Like we flashed it on the ambassador as he was leaving a print, and then we flashed it on the person who took that print. So it could also be a memory aid to remember where the prints are and who's taking them. Because the ambassador also left one at the red bookcase, and then Smallman took it. Or did he leave it or did he walk away with the book? But either way, I think the flashes could be for remembering fingerprints.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think we actually even had that happen in the last set that we saw with C-Rams, where we're like, "What is this flash on this statue that Ambassador's holding? What they're not expecting a swap, right?" You're 100% right. So, which is different because there were lots of flashes around suspicion in the other Bryce C-Ram set. So that might have been like a development that actually, yeah, there's a flash on. You're 100% correct. That has to be mnemonic, which is good because that means we know what's happening finally with some of these flashes.
Yeah. Now, of course, if we see a flash on the spy, we might still assume that, the spy might be a suspect. But if it's on a statue or something, yeah, it's for fingerprint tracking, which is an interesting memorization technique. Very interesting for those of us watching at home. Oh,
We
we're
have a
just
little
going
bit of
in
a
for
camera
another set of
shake.
inspects now. Yeah, we got away with the microfilm, presumably, so we're just going in for inspects. But nope, C-Rams takes the shot. Might have been on top of the microfilm after all, or maybe just doesn't like someone going and finishing inspects at 15 seconds left.
Yeah, I'm curious if that so with laser shake that used to mean something like I don't want to take this shot, and so and they either do they're torn about it. So it could have been that they weren't really sure if the microfilm had happened just because they visited two bookcases and they're like, okay, it's almost like treating like a soft tell. Like this person contacted, they visited two bookcases, they inspected and they talked a bunch, and they're just like, I maybe didn't see exactly the microfilm, but I'm like, I feel like I just got to shoot them. Or it was just a happy little shake. They're like, okay, great. I know who it is, and I'm gonna shoot because my mission counts right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think if you saw the microfilms, you just shoot for it because it is a visible hardtell. So it's probably just that we remembered Salmon had been to both bookcases and had all this mission progress. So Beanie doesn't get to come away with the early lead. It's 1-1, and we have two more games of Moderne. It's C-Rams spying again, playing as Buns in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, both of these games so far have been fairly uneventful. C-Rams is really doing a lot of these cheese flirts at the start, just immediately entering next to the seduction target, getting a flirt, and leaving. And if the sniper doesn't ever punish you for that, it's something that you can just get away with. And so hopefully Beanie is watching the replays a little bit between games and seeing that C-Rams does this every single game and will punish C-Rams for it.
This microphone was looked pretty good. You could see just a little bit of the corner of the arm going down for the green. But it was while Beanie was in motion. So, but C-Rams is bummed about the seduction leaving. So this is looking kind of similar to Beanie's game so far, which they did get shot. So we do have to pick up another piece of microfilm later. But we do probably like this ambassador visit to Green Bookshelf. That's probably been our minds as a potential spot to. Oh, but if seduction target goes there first, so it's not smudged, but we do not want to visit Green Bookshelf yet. So that's funny to me that we would love to go visit Green Bookshelf and do this with seduction target in like a minute after there's a fingerprint, but don't want to go quite yet. Although, oh man, if this lines up, if we go get this fingerprint, seduction target might join us. I think we're obligated for that briefcase. I don't
We were.
actually.
I think that's why we walked away from it. It's like instead of pathing behind the couch, we walked in front of it so that we're like, no, no, we're nowhere near this briefcase. We're not obligated. Look how far away we are from it.
Are we gonna join? There's space. There actually is space in the bookcase, but I don't think we want to draw more attention to stuff. It is gonna smudge the book, so I can understand why we're not like running over there, because there's gonna be a book smudge, but looks like okay. Looks Here's the other part of the setup. We are going to be inspecting, and Ambassador left a fingerprint on the front statues in here. I can't remember which one though, because it might be getting smudged as well. And we might be finishing up fingerprint that way. Was our idea to inspect, do a silent game, maybe go in for microfilm fingerprint, and then just finish our flirts up here. I don't. The book fingerprint is gone, so that's not going to be a thing. We still want to get that microfilm in there somewhere. So now C-Rams is actually probably just really parsing out, okay, what actually of the partial things am I going to finish in what sequence? Because we had a really good sequence here for a second, but now it's getting a little bit worse because definitely the fingerprint is smudged now at statues as well.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing a silent game, though. I mean, if you just finish the second half of the microfilm, you can probably get that done without being caught. It feels like Beanie's just not noticing the microfilms that C-Rams is doing. So you can probably get that done. And then, yeah, if there's another statue with a fingerprint, you could do a silent game, which would be pretty powerful because the sniper might not feel ready to shoot without a contact unless they're really on top of everything. It's a difficult print on the statue. And are we able to get it? No, we're not. So we're not going to be able to finish with fingerprints at all. It's just going to have to be a microfilm and a contact. With only a minute left, though, we're not going to have a lot of time to do that. And the double agent is at a bookshelf. Who knows if he's even going to go to a conversation? Imagine if the double agent goes to the bar and waits for a drink after this. There's just going to be no contact opportunity for the rest of the game. And he's not going to a conversation. The double agent is just going outside to a window. So, oh my God, can we pick up the delegate here without getting the drink in our hand and then go finish a microfilm and then go send a purloin? It's just a repeat of the last game. We're going to have to send off the purloin, gulp the drink, go do a microfilm. The purloin might run out again. I don't feel like this is going to work.
It'd be funny if we get the timeout after the. Although I do think he's going to send us in time, where that's going to take. So we can contact and send at the same time, which we might do. We might just send it. We have to. We are going to send this, and we might finish up the microfilm at the last second instead of letting the contact go through. What is Double Agent doing? He's glitched.
Oh my God.
Okay, there it is. He is now going to go slam the book. I was just gonna be slam the booking next to us. I don't know if I like this.
Oh my God,
we're
he can't.
stopping
Oh,
it. We're stopping it.
We were trying to delay him, but like, what does that do? What does delaying him do? I don't know. I mean, it gives you time to go do another mission instead of the purloin, because at this point, the purloin's going to time out again, and the game is going to time out again, probably. We're just doing the other half of the microfilm instead. We want to finish with that instead of the purloin, but it doesn't work. Beanie's watching us, probably because of all the spy like things we did in the last 30 seconds, and we get shot for it, but what a creative plan that was.
I don't. So I'm trying to figure out if we hadn't had crammed ourselves in there, because I do think it's kind of funny to try to block the book return. I think Wheels is gonna find a way. I don't know if you can stand in the spot where you guarantee they don't, but maybe I guess if you stand in the front and you block their path and the pad, I don't know, but that would have been pretty funny. So I don't mind the creativity around it for sure, but I'm curious if we wait after the slam and we just go in kind of like feeling like normal, and we're able to do that if there's enough confusion. It was gonna have overtime beeps regardless, and so I think that we might have still gotten shot just because in the confusion, Beanie might just remember, well, actually, you're the person that I was worried about sending Krillin anyway, so I'm just gonna shoot you. But pretty fun game.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're behind on pacing and you don't have a high chance to win, I think going for a risky, crazy play like that is better than just, doing some bog standard thing and timing out or being an obvious shot. So that was really nice to see. Unfortunately, it does not get C Rams the point. So Beanie is up 2-1. Beanie spying now as Taft in 3, 2, 1, playing it. As Taft, we have pretty fast movement. We can get around and do a lot of things on this venue. Kind of also blend in a little bit. So we'll see if Beanie can pick up a spy win here.
The one thing I'm sad about in that game was, so I still don't know what happened with double agent staying in conversation circle. Maybe bookcase was blocked and they tried to go to bookcase. He could, ooh, okay. This is all about whether or not that bug was seen. It is Taft, so the arm was pretty. Yeah, okay, it was just seen. Okay, this game's over. But not a bad little poke right there with the reverse bug. It's just his arm is so wide on that one that it just gets caught out. I think there's a lot of characters besides Taft where that actually works out and doesn't get caught, but. We just poke all the way through Rocker and our arms visible on the other side. But yeah, if I wish that we had after Double Agent did whatever they did to not immediately go to bookcase. If we had left, there would have been a purloin leave, a delegate that happened when the spy wasn't in conversation, and that would have just been really cool because they're like, if anybody ever leaves to go, grab the purloin, and the spy is not in the or that the person isn't in the conversation, that's just crazy cool.
Yeah. All right. So Beanie gives C-Rams a little bit of a reprieve there. That's the thing about going for a bug and getting shot. Now C-Rams doesn't have to spend 4 minutes sniping a game. And, sniping a lot gives you a lot of mental fatigue over time. So it's a major downside if you give the sniper a free win like that, because now they just get to spy again for a few minutes and their mind doesn't get filled memorizing a bunch of statue visitors and other things. And C-Rams, you definitely want his sniper to get fatigued. So, okay, we're moving on to High Rise. This is something we did not see from them in their last set together. And it's High Rise any 3 of 6. There's no microfilm and there's no purloin. So swap is on. C-Rams as pearls in 3, 2, 1, playing it. C-Rams definitely has a really dominant sniper on the 4 of 8 venues, but something like this could really test him, which is probably why Beanie chose it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Beanie has Beanie has like a variety of tools in his sniper tool belt, and one of them is a little bit of behaviorism, and so that can kind of shine a little bit on a venue like High Rise. But it's been a while since I've seen kind of anybody play High Rise. It hasn't shown up as much in the sets that I've casted, so I am curious if any kind of new favorites have been developed on this venue. Without microfilm, so we're very statue heavy on this game for sure. So that's going to split the room in half a little bit better. Because if you don't have as much statue activation, you kind of just all the action is in this one room on here on the left, but at least there'll be a little bit of threat every once in a while there. Right now, that's not relevant because there's nobody grabbing statues on the far sides.
Yeah, we would really like the double agent to enter conversation because they're both sort of full, but the longer we wait, the more they're emptying out. The double agent's not coming anywhere near us. We have the flirt done now, so we don't even need to be here anymore. We have 2 minutes to just figure out what mission we want to do and then hopefully have the double agent enter at some point. So we're moving over here. Maybe we're setting ourselves up for a briefcase or something. Oh no, we're requesting a drink from Toby. It's gonna say presumably we want a fingerprint here. Yes. And we're getting the contact as well. So it's a lot of progress, but it's a
Banana
pretty
bread.
easy to track fingerprint, presumably. So I don't know. Beanie might be on top of it.
Yeah, and we'll see if they, yeah, they do get the low light on Smallman. I wasn't sure if they're going to be worried about a split there. And they are going to take the low light on Dangers, because that back conversation was empty when Smallman ditched down in it. So there's a relatively small pool of people here for this last little bit. But the last bit is probably going to be a fingerprint. Right now, Ambassador is being kind of annoying by just standing near where he dropped his briefcase, and so he's both not picking up an object and not making briefcase returnable. It looks like blue bookshelf is going to be the next spot for him. If he takes this book out, we're actually in some trouble.
Oh,
Oh, it doesn't matter.
doesn't matter because Sari went to statues. Sari went to center statues, and presumably she had contact and possible flirt, so she got shot.
Yeah, no, sometimes it is that simple. And there's not all that much you can do about it. I was trying to see if Sorry ever had like a bug opportunity. Not. Oh well, actually, unless I mean, unless we got a drink bug, there was a path where you could get like a drink bug in it, but it would have been pretty tough to execute. But I think you're right. I think it was just straight up soft tail finish credit and then shot.
Banana bread.
Yeah, I mean, that can happen on high rise sometimes. It doesn't look to me like Sari was ever next to the same person for too long, honestly. So I don't know if she could have had the flirt done. So unfortunately, Beanie takes the wrong shot. C-Rams gets a win. I didn't think it was going to work out for C-Rams just because the print was pretty straightforward and a second print would have been easily trackable as well. But okay, C-Rams gets the point there. Beanie has to spy now to stay in this. Beanie playing as Buns in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And it feels bad for Beanie too, because they chose this venue, presumably felt confident on it, and then just took a wrong shot like that right off the bat. And now they're feeling like they're on the back foot, probably.
Yeah, the good news for them is this is a very winnable venue relative to the other ones that they'll be playing against C-Rams. But 100% agree. Yeah, taking early sib shot because it's also a gut shot, right? Because you are thinking that you are kind of catching the spy out, being really aggressive because it wasn't near the end of the game. Um, so it also means that we were not really sure about what was going on the rest of the party. It was true that there wasn't a lot of activity outside of Sari. Like Sari was like kind of the only finisher. Yeah, that's when you really just like you said have to be on top of those flirts. Because you need to be parsing out just like anybody who's done with specs, and somebody's probably gonna have contact credit by that point. So we'll see how this one goes. I also want to note here that we have a different setup. So swap and fingerprint are off, and we have inspect and
Banana
transfer
bread.
on in their place. Oh, sorry, not inspect.
Yeah,
Purloin.
Purloin is on, yeah. So we get the contact. That's a very good contact. Everyone was in conversation. The SDA was in the other conversation. They bailed out shortly afterwards, but they were all in for it. We don't have very much flirt progress, but it's because we stood really far away from anyone in our first conversation. So I don't think we'll have very much suspicion either. And if we hit a green flirt here, which we do, the flirt is still on a really good pace to get done. You got 90 seconds to finish one more flirt and just do any mission, and you haven't given away any lowlights with your contact or anything. Ooh, we're going to leave and bug the ambassador. C-Ram zoomed in to get as much of a view of it as possible, but we haven't been shot for it yet, which means I don't know if C-Ram saw it, and if C-Rams wasn't able to shoot, ooh, C-Ram's shaking the camera, maybe not happy about that, maybe thinking, ooh, did I not actually have the best angle for that bug after all? And so now Beanie just needs one more flirt. We're just waiting to see where we can get that. We're hanging around at the windows a little bit, and we're just going to walk right back into the conversation and flirt with Smallman here. We're not that close, but I think it's close enough, even with a white flirt. We're just going to wait. We don't want to enter and talk immediately, just in case. We have 45 seconds, but we're just going to go for this one more flirt. And unless C-Rams was actually more on top of that bug than I thought, C-Rams is not going to shoot. C-Rams is zooming in, doing flashes on Alice over at the statues. Beanie gets away with that bug,
Banana
even though
bread.
it was being guarded.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think what we were doing there was we were really worried about a conversation bug, or sorry, a conversation bug being a Twitch, I think, bug. Because of the conversation bug, you would see the lean a little bit. But I think we were particularly concerned about the orange sorry bugging in there because we were just like watching that area so closely. But then we just had this really nice just walk away timing after the drink take, and then just got a normal bug. The thing that we surprisingly really had to make sure that we didn't do was have our arms stick through at all. So the wider path that we had took behind the ambassador ended up being the whole game there for us. And but couple of spy wins on high rise, and so we're back to even. But I'm curious which one of them feels more momentum out of those that pair set or that pair of games.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good choice from Beanie doing that bug. Okay, C-Rams is spying as Red Dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. But yeah, Beanie probably feels bad about the sniper shot, but then feels really good about that bug. Speaking of bugs, we cannot go for one here. There's absolutely no way we could go for a bug. Oh my god, we did it! We did it! We did it! Oh my god. Did we have cover for that? No, no, we
No.
didn't have cover for that. I told you can't go for a bug. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and there's just so much of a lean there. If we had done like a Twitch bug, there would have been a better chance of it because there actually is lots of Boots and Sorry are near us, and so there's lots of similar colored dresses, and so sometimes that could be helpful. But that lean, like, dude, Red Dress's lean is just so big with the hair that is just easy to catch. So yeah, if there was something else going on, maybe we would miss it, but Beanie was close enough to it and just saw it.
Yeah, it really is the lean, huh? Like Boots actually gave us enough cover for the arm, but the lean was visible. And if we'd done it a moment earlier, right? It was when the sniper was moving their laser over to memorize the statues. Like it actually could have worked more than I thought it would, but nope, did not work. Was very, very visible. So that's easy sniper win for Beanie this time. Probably feeling good about that. Beanie spying again now as Disney in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And if Beanie picks up another spy win here, like on the last game, Beanie would come away with the lead. We're going to the statues immediately. I wonder if we're trying to do a swap before the statue,
No
before the
swap.
sniper has memorized it. No.
We're just trying to
But I
steal and
wonder if,
inspect.
yeah. Were we seen at the statue? Is there any chance that the sniper didn't see us there?
It's hard to tell how actively we are watching through the mesh on the screen. Like the mesh is just such an interesting texture. I don't know if it's ever gonna stay because like I literally don't know what the mesh is in world. Like what is this fabric? What is this thing? Why is there like a meshy window thing here that you can kind of see through? Is it a trellis? Like I have
I
no
think it's
idea.
like a glass screen with a pattern, maybe? Actually, yeah, I don't know. I think it's glass with like a pattern, maybe.
That's my guess, but I guess probably there's a literal picture of a place that has something like this. But regardless, it's something where it's like it's not like Tan where you're going to see the shapes behind it very obviously, but it's just sometimes it'll collapse into each other. Sometimes people will just miss what's going on back there. But I absolutely think that Beanie is going to play this like they got away with trying to steal that inspect because there was not a swing over. Um, but C-Rams also doesn't have to swing over because they don't need to confirm that what the statue is. They just need to confirm that a statue visit happened. I think we'll learn a lot based on if other people pick up inspects or sorry highlights for partial inspects or not.
Yeah, and I mean Disney's suit is very dark. I think he blended in back there. I think that's what Beanie was going for. So basically, this game is going to come down to in a minute from now when we go finish inspects, will we get shot for it? I say in a minute from now. I'm actually realizing how much of this game has gone by, and we don't have any flirt or anything. So man, it might not even matter if we were seen at the statue or not. We're going to go finish the inspects now. See, we pick up a highlight for it. Is that for your first visit or for finishing them? CRAMS isn't usually highlighting people for the first visit, so maybe it's for finishing them. But we can't flirt. I mean, if we hit a green flirt right now, there is a chance. There is a chance. And we do. We hit a green flirt. So now you're going to have to change conversations, do a contact, then return again to the seduction target. That's going to be a lot of movement. It's really dicey.
And the
You
red.
might get away with it if the inspect thing worked, but Beanie doesn't think that he's going to get away with it because he goes for a contact, a fake contact, and I think gets safety offed on either way.
Yeah, I think we're dead. And we have a. There's no fingerprints on the floor, so that flash is actually a flash for shooting, not a flash for fingerprints. It does seem like Beanie is going to be the top
And the
suspect.
red.
The question is, okay, we do have a reel, which of course that actually might throw a wrench in C Rams's play because they're like, why is there a contact here, right? From Disney. But I do think they're gonna be the overtime shot regardless, and we have to hit a green too to hit it. We don't.
Oh.
Game's over.
I think we would have gotten shot even with a green flirt, but it is kind of sad that that was a white. I was like so ready for it to be a green. I was ready for the overtime beeps. And then I was like, oh, right. We don't even guarantee that if we don't hit a green flirt. And we didn't. But I think maybe that first statue visit was seen because we had a lot of suspicion, more than just the normal suspicion for finishing inspects. So I think C-Rams might have been on top of it. And Beanie not able to really get anything done here on Spy. So the scoreline remains tied.
Yep, absolutely. We'll have to see how the rest of these go, but that's an interesting set of just kind of throwing stuff at the wall a little bit on High Rise. I don't know how much either player felt super confident on those.
Yeah, I mean, it was Beanie's pick, but okay, we're moving on to Aquarium now. This is CRAM's pick. It's not multiplied, so we're only going to be seeing 2 games here. Let's get it started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. It's CRAMs as buns. I feel like I'm saying as buns a lot so far today. And yeah, we're just immediately taking control and entering this conversation for a lovely 27% flirt. And again, we're leaving right away. If Beanie does not punish you for these early flirt and leaves, you can just keep doing them.
Yeah, and we have potentially an opportunity for a double fingerprint. Doesn't look like it. Wheels is going to take the briefcase, so we're not going to do the. We're not going to try to do the take drink and take briefcase. Oh wait, is there not a fingerprint on this? Am I crazy? Didn't Ambassador take a drink, or are we just waiting to take the fingerprint? What's
Sometimes
going
we
on?
wait to take the fingerprint. A lot of times I think like, oh, there was no print on it, but it turns out the spy was just waiting a really long time to take it. Because yeah, there should definitely be a fingerprint on that drink. I'm 100% sure of it.
There
There
it
it is.
is.
It wasn't even a difficult, so we don't know why the spy waited so long to take it, but they did.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a superstition or something like that. I guess like one is like it's not a bad idea though to take the fingerprint after you leave the bar because that way like you're not trying to you're thinking about how you're exiting bar and what your next path is. You're not just like trying to cram too much in there, and you don't need to take it right away. But yeah, we took an interesting amount of time to do the other stuff. But if you feel confident and that you're just, I won't forget it's on here, you can do it. Sharks may be passing by above us. The fin might cover a bug if we try to go for that kind of thing, but I don't think it's really hard to time fins, fin bugs, even though it looks dangerous when you're the sniper.
Yeah, I don't think a fin bug. I don't think people do fin bugs for that reason. It's a little bit way too tight of a timing. Plus, the sniper can just lean the camera and still see around the fin. Ambassador just curling around behind us, but again, the shark not giving us the opportunity to bug there. But we've set ourselves up well, having that first fingerprint. We've picked up a highlight just for being at the bar, but I think those bar highlights should be coming down at some point soon. Ambassador walks walking behind the shark again. Beanie is not happy about this, but I don't think anyone had the opportunity to bug the ambassador there, so Beanie should be feeling pretty confident that no bug happened. Meanwhile, C-Rams has just been waiting around here, wants some mission progress. I thought maybe we were going to enter with the double agent, but we're actually going to the bookshelf here. Shark has already passed us, so we can't do anything behind the shark, and a normal microfilm would be really visible. The low light does, the neutral light comes because it's been ages since we were at the bar, though.
We do a weird little book thing where we stop reading instead of putting back. No, actually, no. I don't know what I'm talking about. It looked weird to me, but it was normal. I don't know what I'm thinking. We do leave, though, because we did have the shark that was going to come back our way. Um, uh, we decided not to go into that. We have a big zoom on Teal in the back, but a low light, interestingly enough, on them. Oh, right, the banana bread.
She's
I'm
not
just
in.
missing stuff.
Yeah, she's not in
not
conversation. But just in case it was covering for a green swap, Beanie was checking the statue. So C-Rams actually goes for a green swap. It's like behind the shark, but also it didn't need to be behind the shark because it was a green. And even if it was a white, the sniper would have time to see it. But the swap is pending, and we're just heading off to the bar now. We would need another mission in addition to the swap, so we're picking up... Oh, wait, no, we don't, because we just immediately took the guest list. We just took it, and we're hiding! Oh my god, and we're hiding behind the shark! It's gonna work! Beanie's not gonna be able to take the shot! Is Beanie able to? Is there an angle? No! Gets away with mission. C-Ram gets away with it as Beanie is struggling to find a pixel to take the shot. Oh my god, that's so cheap, but also it worked.
That is, yeah, I totally agree. Where it's like it's beautiful because like normally that is a really hard spot to hide because your feet are visible, but we push ourselves in the corner so there's not a shot on there's not an angle on anything. I'm trying to like go into like interactive sniper cam mode and like see if I can get this shot because like there's a like no dude, I don't know if you can. It's man, that is I it's been a while since I've seen like a shark cheese of any kind of story. That was good. We do cramp ourselves. Honestly, you know, you mentioned Boots from the beginning. I think we had this in the back pocket the whole game because Boots can cramp herself so into the edge, right? So it's like it's a shark walk, but it's also kind of not, right?
Yeah, she's really good at that. You know what's really funny is that Teal is the one who swapped our statue, the low light who we zoomed in on for swap earlier. Wow, I mean, Beanie could have shot that. Beanie just needed to be super on top of it, but they weren't, right? Because we just took that list. We took that list, and it's like right after we went to a statue behind the shark. So, like, you could shoot if you're really, really, really on top of it, but Beanie was not really, really on top of it, and so just wasn't able to. So, credit to C-Rams for that. Found a slight gap in Beanie's sniper. Okay,
And
let's move on. Beanie playing as Spy now, as Smallman, which just reads like, yeah, I need to get my own Spy win now. Stat. Okay, Beanie, Smallman, 3, 2, 1, playing it.
yeah, absolutely. Like I had the same thought when I saw Smallman, where it's like, okay, gloves are off, kind of moment here. Where I would not be surprised if we see just like Smallman absolute madness from here. Because it's true though that like, and actually, I will say, um, I like the stuff that's a little cheeky, that can feel a little let's say spicy early in the set so that it sets a tone where now I think there won't be any hard feelings about things like a Smallman game, like just with like a dance or mostly Smallman stuff that happens. It's harder to do the true Smallman cheese on Aquarium, but I do think that it's in the cards if they want to.
Yeah, I think mostly we're just waiting for an opportunity to bug the ambassador behind the shark, because I don't think the ambassador's personal space is being violated here. So as soon as there's a middle shark, we could try for something. We're just waiting in the conversation. It's a kind of obvious setup, but it's another low shark. We're going to be waiting here for a while. But hey, the double agent is with us, so we can take a contact at the same time. We just need to hope that no one pushes the ambassador out of this conversation, because the middle shark is coming now. Irish enters next to the ambassador, though, is going to push him out in a moment, but not just yet. The shark passes by. Oh, Beanie goes for it, but it's too late.
Yeah, I'm curious what happens there because like there's gonna be I have very oh what's this? Are we trying to? Oh no, we are. We do see this briefcase. I don't think we like this. Um, are we even trying to hide the briefcase? No, we are just picking
I
it
don't
like
know. I
normal.
don't like it either, but why do I not like it? Is it because we walked through the middle of the conversation instead of going around the edge of it?
I think so. That's why I don't
Yeah.
like it. Oh wait. We do have a well. That flash could just be like a fingerprint memorization thing. So maybe okay. Backing up, that flash down at the bottom might just be a flash for memorizing fingerprint on that Smallman had it, and we don't mind the pathing as much. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, I hate that path," and I'm really worried. But it could just be a normal fingerprint credit right now. Oh, she did go statue to
Okay.
statue. She did go statue to statue.
Wow. I mean, it's surprising to see C-Rams take a miss shot like that, especially because C-Rams did see Smallman's uh weird briefcase pickup and seemed
Banana
to
bread.
really hate it. I guess yeah, Irish did go statue to statue. I
And she was
wonder
near that
what she
bug.
did before that.
The all that
That's
bug stuff
true.
we were noting, and then there was like all that
Yep.
time behind Shark. Like anything could have happened between Shark. She could have bugged like 3 times behind Shark on that one pass. So
Yeah.
I do get it. Where it just looks like they got away from a bug and they just went statue to statue to try to throw that dagger in and just end the game.
Yeah, she had the contact because she was in our conversation. She just had the bug. There's literally no way to know if she bugged or not. I think most spies would not go statue to statue after getting away with a bug like that, but you know, you can't hinge your whole game on like, well, I don't think most spies would do it. You just have to shoot the person who has 4 missions done. So that is really unfortunate for C-Rams, and I'm surprised because of that briefcase pickup that we did that we weren't a bigger suspect. But okay, that means it remains tied, which kind of feels bad for C-Rams because the spy win from him was really good, and then the sniper loss wasn't really that much his fault. But it means it's tied going into gallery, and we have C-Rams spying first here as general in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And as a reminder, gallery is Beanie's pick, and it has been multiplied also by Beanie, of course.
Yeah, and I agree though that part of the reason why I think that we also take that shot is I think this was a correct read. After getting scammed a little bit from that boots game, just trying to do something in return, it felt like the return of a volley. Right? Is you try to get this like crazy behind the shark thing, and then you just like try to jam a statue to statue in. So it does feel like it's the response that a spy might have to a game where they could not shoot the spy. So I do get that on just kind of like a I don't know what to call that, like the flavor of the game so far level. The shot kind of makes sense too.
Yeah, it makes sense. And it's also like if you're a spy and you think you got away with a bug, then you can just go statue to statue. And the earlier you do it, the less likely the sniper is to shoot. So the fact that it happened so early could also be considered spy like. All that to say, behaviorally, there were a lot of reasons why it could have been the spy. And in mission count, she had 4 missions. So it's just a very, very understandable shot. And yeah, the only way to avoid taking that shot would have been if you noticed Smallman more. So yeah, it was a tough dilemma for sure. C-Rams picking up some inspects here, has the flirt at 46%. We're going to chase Taft all the way to the window here, but it's not what the sniper is looking at. The ambassador is in major danger at the back of the venue. So Beanie not noticing us flirt or do anything outside at all. Probably could have gotten away with a time ad or just anything we wanted out there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like so. One just a little bit ago, we walked right past an obligated briefcase from the statues, but I don't think that's going to matter too much for them. But I'm general things I think about are great walking bugs and statue blocking, especially on gallery. So we do have that in our pocket here. I don't think we're gonna. Is this just? No, this is just a fingerprint. And actually, this fingerprint might work out really well because Ambassador is dropping a fingerprint on the back statue of the. I don't know if I call those front or backs, but the second statue. So we could have a back facing inspect, fingerprint, and swap finish if we get this flirt beforehand.
Yeah, that's not a bad game plan. We're gonna try to go for the flirt. Now, I hope Rocker doesn't take the spot next to our seduction target, but she does, and we have no choice but to stop and turn around. So the plan is falling apart before our eyes. And yeah, with only a minute left, C-Rams doesn't really want to spend any more time idling. Oh, there we go. We go for the fingerprintable statue over here. We're getting the inspect. We're going for the fingerprint. Unfortunately, we cannot go for the swap because it would not be our last mission. We're going to have to flirt, but no, this twin is going to take the spot. No, the twin goes to the windows. No, there is no spot. We just can't enter next to the seduction target. Okay, Irish finally leaves the conversation, so we can go for the flirt. And hey, look, the double agent is here as well. So if we just go for a contact,
Banana
we can
bread.
just be done missions. And it's like, is Beanie on top of all the soft tells? Is Beanie able to shoot for just a full Softel game? It doesn't look like Beanie has any interest in it. So C-Rams not pulling off anything flashy, just gets the 4 Softel game done.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think that so I like that call there where CRM decides, okay, because double agent is in the same conversation as seduction target, we don't have to do like a silent game back facing swap play. Although it might have even worked if we wanted to try to force the issue. And then we do put down really quickly. We get in there. I like that. Oh man. Also, I'm just like noticing Queen's eyes are freaking out in this game. At least in mine, I can see
Her
her
eyes
eyes
are
poking
freaking
through.
out?
Oh, that just must be a glitch on my side. Her eyes were doing the thing where they poke out of the skull. So all right, that's just on my side. Never mind. I
Yeah,
got
oh,
distracted. I can't finish my
okay.
point because Queen was doing this haunting thing at me. Good games by C-Rams. Great game. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of your basic test as a sniper. Can you just shoot someone who just did inspects, fingerprints, flirt, and contact? Everything on top of that is a bonus, but the spy can always just finish with those soft tells. None of them were difficult prints, but Beanie maybe just had other suspects, just wasn't on top of it. So, okay. That is a point for C-Rams. And now Beanie is spying, playing as Salmon in 3, 2, 1, playing it. They've been tied up all set, but C-Rams could very easily get the sniper win here and take a lead off of that. So Beanie definitely doesn't want to fall behind. We'll be trying anything they can to get the spy win here.
Yeah, the one little curious thing that Seagrams did do in there that was kind of fun, but I just haven't seen somebody really care about too much is they flirted and then they attempted the contact during the flirt and hit it green, so that there would have been a double talk if they hit the white, but it combined the talk for the flirt and if the divided bread had happened, where maybe there would be a little bit less suspicion if they are not worried about flirt being completed.
Yeah, if the sniper is looking really closely at you, then yeah, they might think who starts a contact when they're near the end of their previous talk, because it's just a big risk to be seen talking twice in a row for no reason. But okay, Beanie going and picking up a difficult briefcase, not able to get the fingerprint off it, and that usually means you bail from fingerprints as a mission because you might be credited with 1 already, and now you have to get 2 more, so you'll definitely be seen if you do it. So fingerprints probably off the table now. We do have that green flirt, so we want to see where the seduction target lands. I wonder if we're just going to go join General at the bookcase now just to see if we can get the flirt done ASAP. It's not like we have anything else to do, but I think we waited too long, so General might leave before we get to him. So we're just spending a lot of time at the paintings, wondering what to do next. We want to see where the seduction target lands. We want to see where the double agent lands. No one's landing anywhere, so we're just spending a lot of time doing absolutely nothing at the paintings. Maybe we're chasing General, but Beanie seems a little bit scared of landing on the same pad as General. Maybe it would be too obvious of a flirt. So we're just getting a lot of nothing done. It's not going how Beanie wanted.
Yeah, and then I think we might even bail out again because yeah, we are going to bail out to this conversation because General is kind of in the middle of the blue bookcase, and we would be definitely jamming ourselves in there. I think honestly at this point this feels like a Purloin game. I don't think we're going to do this one. I could be wrong. I think we'll wait for a better chain on this, but this feels like a Salmon Purloin game to me right now because we're pretty far behind, and trying to do this Civ shot might be one of our best spots.
Sorry, when you say a salmon purloin game, is salmon known for purloins in some way?
I guess I don't want to. I do like salmon for purloins because
Oh, we
what
coughed.
we do cough. What are we aiming for with that? Was
Aiming. I
that
mean, maybe
just
it's
a?
a mistake, or I like how your first thought though was that like, oh, a cough. Obviously, we have some sort of super big brain plan with this, but technically, a cough is usually something that happens by mistake.
Yeah, but oh, maybe it was a split. Was I was trying to think of what the mistake would have been, what would induce to the mistake because it was just like, oh, it was just like a miscontact. Um, actually, one of the things that it might be a bit of a narrative is Beanie has usually a really good green rate. It hasn't felt amazing this set, and so Beanie often can feel like they can get away with things like trying to do
Banana
more
bread.
banana splits, right? There's the green test that we wanted before, and so we might have just coughed there because we were expecting to be able to split, and then that was going to help us get back on our game, right? At this point, we got to do something. We got to hit. Well, I guess we're gonna have to hit a terrible time ad. That's gonna just well, I mean, White is at least in there with us.
Yeah, that narrows it down to two people as the entire rest of the party gets low lit, except for Taft, who's walking inside and he's pretty quick. So I think C-Rams thought maybe I missed Taft at a window and he escaped inside. We haven't lost the game yet. That's about the best thing that you can say about this one. We have not technically lost. We are still. Oh my god, is that a safety off on Taft? What? We coughed and we did a time ad and it narrowed down to three people and we won.
That okay? We do grab that last second briefcase, and so like that's a thing where oh my god. Okay, so one I the coughing is actually just like it does put a lot of pressure on the sniper just altogether. And then like we might have I don't know if we had any narrative on Taft up until that point because the thing is like when you really narrow it down, sometimes your threshold for shots goes down because there's so few people left that you might not be thinking about the mission count as much. Yeah, that's just a stressed out shot. We just didn't have the read on that. I think what we were gonna try to maybe do was we could have tried to frame a green swap on white dress. That might have been one of our only plays because she'd be the only person that Beanie could reliably think was still in the pool of people along with Irish. So that might have been a fun little thing, but yeah, just a wrong shot.
Wow. I mean, cough is OP. I'm not sure I've even seen a spy lose a game where they coughed. I think I've seen like three coughs in this postseason, and like the spy has won every single one of them. I think people need to start coughing more. Presumably Taft had done some other things that made him a suspect even before that. I mean, if he's getting shot for a briefcase, he probably had another fingerprint. So okay, well, that worked out. And against all the odds, the set is still tied up. It's C-Rams spying again, playing as sick in 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's got to feel bad for C-Rams because he keeps getting these great spy wins and then somehow loses the sniper game. C-Rams immediately going for a bold play at the start of this one, ripping the book out, bringing it to the other bookcase, and it doesn't work. Beanie is on top of it. And now this time it's Beanie who's got the reprieve of not having to snipe gallery for 4 minutes.
Yeah, this feels like the like games like 50 onward from the C-Rams Bryce set. Like we're already kind of in that zone of interesting shots, just drastic spy play, which took a lot longer for them to get into in this one. So, kind of fun territory within. But yeah, agreed. It's gonna feel pretty great to not have to snipe gallery for 4 minutes.
All right, Beanie spying next as Leopard in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And yeah, I mean, mentality is also a big thing, right? Like C-Rams just had that sort of frustrating wrong shot as sniper. So then C-Rams gets into his spy game and just immediately goes for a mission. It almost feels like sort of taking out your frustration, being like, oh, I just need to just get something done, just get a mission done. Just because then it makes you feel like, oh, if I just get this one hardtail right at the start, boom, I can get a spy win, I can come back. It's like a way of sort of reclaiming your control. Oh God, we're walking right alongside with the ambassador there, but I don't think a bug would have worked.
Yeah, if we started like, because I guess I didn't know that Rocker is very slightly faster than Tex. It looks like. If we like had like a really long runway with them, there's a actually after we overtook them, there'd be a good opportunity for a bug. But yeah, it would have stuck out by the time that Ambassador diverted from us.
Well, good news is we got a green flirt earlier. We flirted again. It's at 85% now. Always feels good to have your flirt done early on gallery. And the seduction target walked away and then somehow redirected right back into the same conversation.
Banana
Oh
bread.
Red test.
God, it's a cough.
But does
Why?
that mean is this a game in the bag? Oh my god! But like I almost forgot that I was like, oh, this is on the other foot. No, this is actually right back to C-Rams because that last game was so quick. So we're just back to back cops. This might even feel like disrespect. Like honestly, this might feel like Beanie is kind of taunting C-Rams. I don't think it is. I think C-Rams just missed the test. But yeah, this is interesting. We do seem to have a grasp on it, but you know, like I do think C-Rams gonna be patient this time, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, all joking aside, a cough is not something you're really expecting or looking for as a sniper. So it's not that much of a death sentence. Snipers are not
Banana
used to
bread.
looking for coughs. Oh, we're taking a fake contact now as well. I think if the sniper is already thrown off by the first cough, you do a fake contact, you really mess with them. They just don't know what's happening in this game anymore, especially because the conversations haven't really changed too much since then. So it could add a lot of suspicion to someone. Wow. I wonder if another cough is going to work out for Beanie. But at the very least, like, it's going fine, it seems. Yeah, the party's been narrowed down a lot, but we're not a major suspect for it. We got 90 seconds to find some missions. We got a fingerprint here on the bookcase. I don't know. It's a pretty standard game. Just looking at the game state here, you wouldn't really know that there had been a cough or anything.
Yeah. See, yeah, the major difference, like the game state for the missions is, yeah, like you're saying, like looking pretty normal. It's just how are we going to parse out the number of lowlights that we've given from the cough and then the subsequent banana bread, right? It's because we are going to be in a relatively narrowed party. The other thing that the second fake, or sorry, the second banana bread, the fake one, oh, we are going to hit a purloin. It's going to be a white test and probably going to be dead.
That's
It's
how it goes
very visible.
sometimes. You purloin, it's a white test, and you die. If that was a green, yeah, we could have been in a pretty good place because we got a green fingerprint in a bookcase. We had a minute to get another one. You know, with a green test, that could have worked, but it is a white purloin, and you die for those. And that means the scoreline is still tied. Neither player has been able to come away with anything here, despite so many games not quite going the way
Banana
I thought
bread.
they would.
Yeah, and one little kind of minor narrative that's popping out of this is Beanie is not hitting the tests like he normally does. He's hit a red test, he's coughed, he didn't hit a green purloin when he really needed to. Um, there might be just a tiny bit of nerves going on for Beanie right now that's affecting his um, technique rather than his strategy.
Possibly. All right, we're moving on to Courtyard now. We have C-Rams playing as Buns. It's so much Buns today. In three, two, one, playing it. This is C-Rams pick, and it has been multiplied. So we're going to be seeing 4 games of Courtyard.
Yeah, in the long set, we did have some crazy games of Courtyard where there was like a relatively it was like relatively good spy win, and then we were super worried for I think it was Bryce, and then we had a crazy green swap like overlaying set of circumstances. So Courtyard can be pretty varied sometimes. I know, yeah. Boots on Courtyard is an interesting pick because Boots. we had that boots pick on Aquarium. It looked like because we knew that there was the
Banana
opportunity for like
bread.
a super cramp thing. We accidentally hit a banana bread instead of a flirt. Both of these players are seeming like they are just a little fidgety with their actions.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world to hit a fake contact there. You did give real to one conversation only. I know we have a suspected double agent with us now, but she joined after we did that contact. We're going to move over to the real double
Banana
agent,
bread.
though. Okay, we're just going for another contact right away. We're hoping that there aren't too many more lowlights available from that. And there were a couple more available, but Beanie isn't sure if those people might have split. So only one more lowlight. So the fake contact didn't hurt us too much. We're going to go over to the fingerprintable statue here. We're going to get some inspects and one fingerprint. Pretty baseline standard courtyard game, other than the accidental fake contact. And we're just going to have to see if Beanie is able to shoot us if we go for another fingerprint.
Yeah, I actually would have preferred we didn't go for that second contact because, like, as much as the first contact was unintentional, it appears, if you have a fake that you didn't intend and then you go and just go get the second contact done right away, you kind of just collapsed it into a bad single contact because you probably eliminated more people than you meant to. You had to switch conversations or you had to change something for that contact to become real. But what you could have is if you have that fake and you don't have conversation credit, you can save that, you can pocket that contact. It's probably going to be fine for you to get a contact later because there's not that many spots that double agent can go to for a long time and not return to a conversation circle. And then do whatever you need to do before that, not have the bug credit, or sorry, not have the contact credit and go do other stuff. So we'll see if that ends up just being a good time because there's just lots of people in conversation and it didn't really matter too much. But I do wish that he'd thrown in a little bit of a wrench there.
Yep, so CRMs just needs one more fingerprint. I mean, we just saw on gallery that Beanie wasn't able to shoot for the 4 soft tell game, but we'll see if it works again. CRAMs goes for another fingerprintable statue and just gets shot for it. Yeah, it's harder to get away with on Courtyard. Beanie definitely remembered where the ambassador had been to all those statues. So CRAMs cannot get away with the soft tell game again. If you want to win on Courtyard, you got to get away with something unconventional while the sniper isn't looking. You can't just go for basic statue fingerprints, I don't think, most of the time.
Yeah, no, and I'm curious if we had not done that second contact, we had the availability to think about other things like even doing a swap or a bug, or then just like waiting to see if there's just another thing and then just doing contact. It would have been a relatively similar shot. But yeah, just trying to do your thing, hoping they catch Beanie out. We didn't. Beanie was on top of it.
All right, so that is Beanie up by 1 point here, but if Beanie wants a lead, they're gonna have to win the spy game. Beanie as Irish, aka Green Dress, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's hard to get spy wins on Courtyard. That's why when I see 4 games of Courtyard in a row, I'm like, are we just going to see 4 sniper wins here? But sometimes the spy can pull off something creative, and it's always exciting when you do see a spy win on Courtyard.
Yeah, the reverse bugs could come into play. Fun little statue things. I do think that there are while Courtyard is winnable as spy, it has like fewer like it's got like less flexibility in how you get those. It's usually from some creative way to get the fourth mission done that either is unseen by the sniper or just unseen enough time that there's the mission went down timer. It is pretty fun to get chased around the Turing statue when you have just the thing where you just need to get the shot in time, and that actually wouldn't be terrible because that'd be kind of similar to the Aquarium couldn't shoot in time. Is if you also have a green swap and then you're trying to have them chase around the circle with the delay between these players, that actually would be a little bit stronger than normal, I think, in Courtyard. So just something to think about.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see it more often because it's hard to get away with spy wins here. So you might as well go for something blatant and then like try to run around the statue. You only need to like if you do something that the sniper might not catch right away, but will catch 5 seconds later, but then you're running around the statue for 5 seconds and they can't shoot you. It's like it could work. Yeah, I thought Beanie might go for a bug on the ambassador there, but Beanie wisely decided that there wasn't enough cover or anything like that. So, oh my God, we're white swapping We're white swapping the statue. Is this a frame on someone? Surely it's a frame, because there's no way we were hoping to be at that statue without being seen. And C-Rams is just looking at it now like, did the spy just swap that? Or is that a green swap? And C-Rams didn't see the fade. But oh my god, we're immediately going for a fingerprint afterwards. But it's our first fingerprint, so you still don't shoot for this. Oh my god. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but there's no reason to shoot, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, who was at that statue before us is the question.
So here's the other big thing that's going to happen is if we can locate a conversation where double agent leaves and nobody else comes in, we might go into that conversation and fake. Because I think that if we contact real right now, we're probably going to be the one shot. I did not pay attention to who's at that
It was
statue before. I
Salmon.
do
So
think
Salmon was
Salmon.
at the statue before us. So Salmon is theoretically the other suspect here. It's so interesting too that we went for a fingerprint right after doing the statue because it's like so suspicious, but it's the first fingerprint, so the sniper won't shoot for it, and we're not necessarily committed to getting the second one. And I don't think we want the second one, honestly. I think we want it to be like, yeah, that was a green swap. Salmon swapped it. Why would the spy, swap the statue and then go take a fingerprint and then never finish them? The contact happens, but no, the shot does come off on us. I don't know if C-Rams remembered who was there. I don't know if C-Rams knew that it was Salmon and was considering him, because it could have looked like Salmon was doing a fake contact there, but I don't know. C-Rams was on top of it.
I was gonna say it's too bad we didn't wait like a second longer because there was a suspected double agent that happened. We had no idea that it was a suspected double agent that was about to join Salmon, but actually double agent left right as after we finished that contact. So there's like a maybe a split second of like there's exactly like one frame where both conversations had a double agent inside of them. Also, funnily enough, both of them were twins. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, just like putting that kind of pressure on, maybe you get something out there. It didn't seem like we knew 100% who was at the statue before. It seemed like we were keeping all the highlights in play. So not a bad poke. Just see what happens.
Yeah, you're like trusting the sniper to know who was at that statue, but the sniper might not have known. But it was a good attempt, and I like the mind games for going for the briefcase because that's not what the spy would do if they're trying to frame someone. And it's also not what the spy would need to do at all because they don't need fingerprints for a mission. I mean, maybe the briefcase was obligated, but I don't know. I think it could have been a tough choice if you knew Salmon was there, but I don't know if Beanie knew. So, okay, C-Rams spying again. It's still tied up, and it's Kane in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
I
Remember,
feel
this
like
is first to 12, so we're getting near the end, potentially.
it's true. In theory, there is progress towards an end because, like we have said, C-Rams and Ty a lot in the past couple months. So we'll see if there's actually like they do have to get to a certain number of games before there can even be a winner. Um, uh, but this feels just like those sets that go super long for C-Rams. So very possibly. Like I want to know what, regardless, win or lose, what C-Rams plans for the off season are. I guess they're in Winter Cup, so they're not giving themselves much of an off season, anyways. But they might just be kind of tired of these super long sets.
Yeah, and like a lot of the back and forth here hasn't been just trading sniper wins. C-Rams has lost a few sniper games, sometimes due to just unfortunate shots on civilians who were just doing a lot of missions, sometimes due to missing a cough. So it's been back and forth, but it has not been Sniper Party. Has been on Courtyard so far, though. I'll be surprised if we see a spy win, but I will be looking forward to it if we do. We have the contact done, given off basically no lowlights at all. And when I say basically, I mean there's literally oh no, there's one person low lit. It's the seduction target, but that's it. Ooh, C-Rams tries to purloin. That didn't go how C-Rams wanted it to. It's a white purloin. There's no reaction from Beanie though, which is good. And now it's very visible. Now Taft just rejected. So it's not like, oh, you didn't see it and you only noticed it when Taft took. I think Beanie noticed the list is gone. The most recent offer was clearly to Kane, and Kane is walking away, but if we're suspicious of Kane for the purloin at all, we're not even looking at him at the statues. There's almost a chance that we could have gotten away from the statues without being seen. Oh God, Beanie is so not on top of this that he's given C-Rams a low light. Oh
Yeah,
no.
that, and then that's just going to be it. There does not feel like this possibly could be a shot. Even though I think in normal circumstances we're like really crammed next to Double Agent here. This feels like a very shootable last flirt there. Even though in theory we could have been done with flirt with two greens instead. So we were already in trouble. The fact that, like you said, we were at statues for enough time that if that was our last mission, we would have just won. But we additionally on top of that low light. So we were just, like you said, completely taken off guard by that mid game purloin.
Yeah, and so was C-Rams. I mean, C-Rams was shaking his camera afterwards because he knows that if you just wipe purloin on Courtyard, you're gonna die. But apparently not. Beanie was not looking at it. I wonder what Beanie was looking at when the purloin happened. The ambassador didn't seem to be in much danger. I don't know. It might have just been a lapse of focus. And Beanie clearly maybe panicked in the aftermath of that, tried to salvage it the best they could. And yeah, okay. C-Rams gets the spy win. Okay, well, this is where the set could end up with one player actually having a lead for the first time. C-Rams just needs to win a sniper game on Courtyard to get a lead here. Beanie spying as to win, normal twin, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Normal twin.
I don't, plain twin, sorry. God, what? Is
I
it
just
that big of a faux pas to say a slightly wrong term?
No, I just meant I thought you were like revealing that you're horribly against body piercings and tie clips. That you're just like there's normal twin and then there's defiant, awful, deviant twin. That
Normal and plain are just synonyms, okay? I'll call
it
I'll
is
call
true.
this one standard twin, and non-standard twin. I don't
It's
know.
true. The fact that we call plain twin is already a slight against them because we're just like, oh, this is generic, boring twin that doesn't have the cool bling and whatnot. They're both doctors though, so I feel like there's a little bit of doctor playing to you kind of respect.
All right, yeah, they are both doctors. I forgot about that because every character's official name is usually just Mr. or Mrs., but these two are like Dr. M and Dr. N or something, right?
Yep, that's right. There was conversations in the Discord recently about trying to come up with names that start with the letter that they're assigned in each of them. So I think like I like the Miles and Niles. There's also Mick and Nick. That way, because like mostly people don't remember what letters they are unless they have some other random reason for remembering them.
Yeah, we don't need the letters most of the time because we've come up with our own names for them. Okay, so we're entering here with the double agent. We have partial inspects done, which, it's not really that big of a deal because you can just visit the statues again and get the other one without any extra suspicion because you don't need to visit statues twice on Courtyard. So doing the second visit doesn't really matter in the sniper's eyes. So the inspects are now going to be done. Oh God, that is a green swap. Oh God, we were like barely even seen at the statue if we had just put it down and walked away. But obviously Beanie couldn't be confident in that. And so we're going to have to see who goes and picks up that statue
Banana
for
button.
us. But we're taking a contact. That's going to be a low light on Sari as she goes and gets that statue for us. And that means if C-Rams doesn't check for a swap, that Beanie could get away with. Oh, that laser just reacts immediately. But who was at that statue? C-Rams doesn't remember.
Dude, the
Beanie's
very
running around, but then turns around actually. So the shot could have been taken, but C-Rams didn't. C-Rams wasn't able to.
we got what we wanted, which was the chase around the statue. That's exactly how you kind of have to do it. It's really great that we happen to be near enough our seduction target, the window, to start that run, because otherwise, just splitting early might have just caught enough attention. That just came together exactly how it needed to, and like again, as always, we were going into this being like, this is a really great opportunity for Seagrams to take a proper lead, right? But of course, the universe is willing this to continue to be tied.
Yeah, and God, it really was exactly what I said. I was like, if you're gonna run around the statue, you need to do a play that is like obvious, but still takes the sniper like 5 seconds to catch. and then you run for 5 seconds after that. And that's exactly what a swap is from a low light there. It's like, yeah, the sniper's not going to immediately be looking at every single statue visitor right away, but within a few seconds, they're just going to kind of look over, make sure it hasn't been swapped, and it just takes them 5 seconds, and then boom, you're on the other side of the statue. They can't reach you. So yeah, it worked out. We got exactly what we wanted from Courtyard. And yeah, we saw 2 spy wins on Courtyard in a row, which means this set is still tied. Oh god, we could go to overtime at this point. It's it's possible. Okay, we have C-Rams on Ballroom playing as Pearls in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We have 2 venues left. It's Ballroom and Veranda, and both of them are going to be just singled venues.
Yeah, and of course, there's gonna be a lot of pressure on the Veranda set and the Veranda, the first game of Veranda, right? Because then that's gonna set up so much, especially on Sniper. Honestly, like honestly, Veranda as the close of the set, we're gonna do a green swap right at the beginning here. We don't even stay for this for the seduction, for the potential seduction play because I think we need to get 2 missions done before this swap actually completes. We are going to take an early contact here. Are we going to try to?
And
Are
in
we
a
going to
row.
purloin? Are we going to purloin off of this? That actually is not a
We're
terrible idea. We are going to purloin. We're going to white purloin, in fact. So Taft is going to be taking in here. We're probably going to zoom to see this one, but I don't know if we're going to actually take the shot as a result of it. We are. We're confident enough to take the shot. That is actually tragic. If there was more of a chain, we would actually be parsing this out and just trying to figure out what's happening here. But with a middle statue, contact, and purloin, maybe we're also just worried about the bug happening at the very beginning of the set. That is actually a crazy game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a white purloin and we just get shot for it. Beanie doesn't even wait to see the swap. Beanie just had the sense, oh, I think this could be a rush, right? A purloin happened, a contact happened, someone had already been to center inspect and they're right near Toby. So, yeah, wow, you just take that shot. Okay, well done to Beanie. And that means it is Beanie up 1 point, spying as Leopard now in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If Beanie can get this spy win, they will have a lead, and the set is nearly done, so that could be enough to get them the win. We do not take control and bug the ambassador there. We really wanted to, but there was actually like no cover on that side of the venue, so Beanie doesn't go for it after all. And oh, I thought we were going to go to statues, but no, Beanie just decides to land on this painting pad. So we've actually got nothing done here at the start. We can't even really flirt because we don't know where our seduction target is going to land.
Yeah, and looking at that last game, actually, so I'm much more confident now that it's because we thought the bug could have happened. There was basically an opportunity for a nearly invisible chaos bug from White Dress on her entry into statues, and so Beanie was probably super paranoid about White Dress from the beginning. So I don't think the swap was even in our minds. So at first, well, I just like the play in general of actually going for like the white purloin because usually what you just take is that early you just take low lights. But because the white purloin came off in conjunction with the fact that that really could be the complete of the rush because of the bug into center, into contact, into purloin, Beanie just can't take that risk and takes the shot regardless.
Yeah, and
And in
it's
the
a good
red.
call. I mean, a rush like that can just get past some players, but Beanie just had the frame of mind and just knew, okay, a rush could be happening, and I just need to watch this and I need to shoot right now. So Beanie, despite not having a lot of progress at the start, we've got the contact done now. We've got a fingerprint. We still have no flirt though. It's not the end of the world, but we like really need to get started on the flirt within like the next 20 seconds, I would say. Or otherwise we might not be able to get it done at all. Even if we hit green tests, we might not be able to get the flirt done unless we start it right now. Beanie knows that, so just immediately joins the seduction target ASAP, and it is a white test, so flirt looking pretty dicey. The ambassador enters next to us, but we actually have a drink in our hand, so we cannot bug. The sniper also knows that we cannot bug, so we're not really going to get suspicion for this. So it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, and the conversations are pretty spread out right now. They're kind of thin and scattered. So there's not a ton of cover anywhere, and there's lots of conversations that are coming in. They're dying pretty quickly. So that means things like Ambassador going in between them. It's going to be dropping some briefcase fingerprints. We are going to be going down for this one. Oh, I didn't. I thought this was going to be difficult. So we're going to be just straight up finishing fingerprint here. See if there's a highlight on Beanie for just fingerprint finish credit, but none so far. Which I think CRAM's normally highlights for finish on fingerprint, but I could be wrong. We're going
Yeah,
to be
the drink
directly
print.
behind.
The drink print did take a while. Two people rejected after the ambassador took a drink, so there is a chance that C-Rams lost track of that.
Yeah, yeah, I think that that's very possible. And then, so okay, let's see. C Rams, if Beanie just goes for, well, we have so little time. Are we time? Are we really trying to timer flirt this? I don't think we have time to.
Yeah, we might just time out even after all that. I mean, if you walk away, it's going to be really awkward to come back, but we are walking away, which means it's going to have to be a time ad. That's a really blatantly obvious bug that I don't think Beanie or any spy would ever think would work. Was Beanie just giving up? Maybe Beanie was just giving up. Maybe Beanie knew that he was about to time out and he was like, okay, I'll wave to the sniper. I'll raise my white flag or something. Cause there's no way that bug would ever work. I thought it was going to be a time ad. I thought we would maybe at least walk by the ambassador and bug and like do the time ad. But uh, yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, the staying in the conversation after the flirt at 30, the flirt was at 38 seconds. That didn't make any sense to me because we could not finish flirt by staying in that conversation circle. So I think we were just kind of flustered at that point. Even though we had all the fingerprint, like we had the path, there must have just been something that we wanted to do that we got frustrated that we couldn't do. Like either we expected to try to frame someone or something that just fell out because that finish does not feel like Beanie normally.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Beanie just was like, yeah, this game's not going to be a win. So, but that's an odd mindset to have when you're like so close to winning the finals. So I am a little surprised. But okay, that means it's still tied going into Veranda. So one player is going to need to win both games of Veranda to take the win here. And if it stays tied, we go into overtime. And if you think about it, it's almost like we're in overtime already because overtime is just whichever player gets 2 point lead wins. And this game, even though it's not overtime, if you get the 2 point lead, you win. Otherwise, you keep going. So we're basically already in the overtime scenario. One player just needs to win 2 games in a row. So CRAM's going to be spying first, playing as the regular twin in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Confident twin, twin that has an identity, doesn't need to keep adding to it. Probably the firstborn
Natural
twin. We're gonna be
twin,
doing exactly, yeah. Twin classic. Um,
organic twin.
we hit a couple of time ads here at the beginning, and then we go into statues. So what's fun about this is seeing how the lowlights are coming out here. I think we caught this time ad because there's so many lowlights happening. I don't know if we know that this twin was at Windows. Rather, we probably low like people that could not have at a time. So net, this does not work out for us. This is probably gonna be really tough from here on out because there's so few. Yeah, we're more lowlights are even coming out. Uh, Man, like this actually might be a horrible, painful, slow loss because we have like 6 minutes of clock and we have narrowed it down to everybody but the two twins. We just maybe we knew it was a twin, we just couldn't remember. And then yeah, keep Smallman in the pool, right? Because always keep Smallman in the pool.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about like a reprieve on the sniper, and this is exactly that. Now, Beanie, right, really needs to stay calm and not stressed out here because Beanie could win the set with a spy win. And so if you're Beanie and you're sniping right now, you just take this opportunity to just slowly watch the twins. You have 4 minutes of peace. This is like 4 minutes of knowing the spy can't win. Okay, well, C-Rams gets a bug, and it was actually really, really hard to see that, even if you do have the twin highlights. So, there's a chance. But remember, the spy needs 5 missions done, so even with that bug, it'll be hard for C-Rams to finish. Beanie just needs to stay zen and just watch these twins for another 4 minutes, and should be able to get a sniper win.
So Beanie's probably going to be trying to bait out Oh, it's the funny thing is, so C-Rams has no idea what kind of game they're in because they were shaking their camera because they missed their red fingerprint, which is bad and like it's they're for their crazy version of how this game would have to play out to win. Maybe that was gonna be an important part. But C-Rams probably feels pretty good. They got those immediate time ads. They got a really clean feeling bug, and they are trying to play this out like a normal game, but it is absolutely not a normal game. And they're going to be playing like it's real. Beanie might just start planning out what their spy game is going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shockingly good bug, honestly, to have gotten away with it despite being one of only three possible suspects. I like how it's just the twins and Smallman, because you just never know with Smallman. No reason to lowlight Smallman ever, just in case. But C-Rams is surely going to be the more active twin. We're finishing the inspect. Oh, we're doing a green swap.
Oh,
I
Smallman take,
mean,
Smallman take. I mean, it's probably going to be Irish, but I want Smallman to be the taker. Honestly, this is Smallman is going to be the. No, Smallman's not going to be the taker. Smallman's going to both. Oh no, there it is, there it is.
he
But we
got
can't
recalled,
contact.
yeah.
We can't contact. Oh no, this is kind of tragic. Because honestly, that game wins if we didn't catch the time ads. Straight up, that game wins if we didn't do the time ads because we finished with 3 minutes.
Yeah. That's sort of unfortunate for C-Rams because it was a
I mean, the
really good bug there. But I think Beanie was just on top of it at this point. It's interesting how close we got to having missions done, though, honestly. Uh, but yeah, we were just gonna. I think Beanie was just waiting for a contact. Okay, well, Beanie is up 1 point then. That is sort of the advantage of sniping first, is that it's just a little bit easier to win a sniper game than a spy game. And so you're constantly in this overtime scenario, you're constantly going to be the one who can maybe win a sniper game. And then, like, the other sniper just has a lot of pressure on them to match it. Okay, Beanie as Ponytail in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If Beanie wins this, it's over before the overtime. Oh, we're walking right now to the ambassador. We actually tried to start a bug. I didn't even see it. We weren't even that close to the ambassador, so it doesn't work. But was it caught by C-Rams? I was thinking, oh, maybe the laser is just going to wait a moment for Beanie to land somewhere and take a shot. But no, it doesn't look like C-Rams saw the bug attempt either.
Yeah, no, it was for the reason that it didn't go in range was we were blocked by another character, and because of that, our arm was not seen because of the person that blocked us. Um, we get a fingerprint on this briefcase here. I was curious if we were going to try to do something like grab after we put the book back in, grab a cheeky fingerprint, but we do not go for it. We just go for the one fingerprint off the briefcase.
Was there room behind the ambassador to even return that briefcase, or should we have put it down?
That's a good question, actually. That you're like that doorway is really weird. That little door that's kind of bent out and produces like strange circumstances. Actually, both conversations. So you very well could be right. I actually don't know if that was returnable either.
Well, Beanie returned it. It was not a very suspicious briefcase because the ambassador came to that bookshelf after we got there and we were just obligated to pick it up. So it is fingerprint progress. Hopefully, C-Rams doesn't think we got a fingerprint off the bookcase because the ambassador got to the bookcase after us. So we were not able to get a fingerprint off the book. So we only have partial fingerprints. Hopefully, C-Rams knows that and doesn't consider us to be a huge suspect already. And so Beanie is just going to be waiting here with the seduction target. One more green flirt could get the flirt done just like that, and it does. So that's nice to have done.
Yeah. I mean, we still have burned quite a bit of time for seduction and fingerprint. Even though it doesn't feel like it's slow, it's putting us behind a little bit. We probably want to hit this green and then
the
like maybe
red.
try to go for a bug on our way out, but that doesn't happen. But the meta bread overall is pretty good. The only bummer is that the other SDA is out at statues, and it's also gonna knock out a statue goer. Oh, it's not gonna knock out the statue goer. I think Queen was out, but didn't get caught. That's fine. And we are going to be trying to. Ooh, drink is being offered to. Oh, that's such a bummer. we would have been the next natural person, and it's white purloin. This is probably over. but we'll see.
White purloin. Oh, the tray wasn't visible right away, but it's visible now. Not 100% certain who took it, but Beanie picks up the immediate highlight for it. And so it's not looking like Beanie's going to be able to close out the set in regular time here. White Purloin, just one of the most anticlimactic ways to lose a game. Now, the good news is that C-Rams isn't 100% certain about it, but we are a big suspect for the Purloin now, so it will be really hard to get another fingerprint and then another mission after that. Maybe C-Rams doesn't remember our first print. There's a chance, but we have 90 seconds for another print. The Ambassador is leaving one at a bookcase now. It's going to get immediately smudged, though, so there's not much we can do. Good news, Beanie knows that he's a suspect for the Purloin, presumably, because he's just standing around doing absolutely nothing. The problem with that is it means you're not getting missions done. Ooh, we're going to go for a bug by the Ambassador. I'm assuming we're shot for that immediately. Yes. Yes, we are.
We are, and we move. Like, I was a little nervous. Like, we're right on the top of Seek's hat, and I was like, "Please take this shot more seriously. You are right at the end. You just lose the set entirely on it because if the head turns a little bit, and we take a little bit of time to actually knife the shot properly." Um, yeah, that the Purloin's unfortunate, but it also felt like we did have a pool of people in there that we were still worried that might have green test earlier. And doing that kind of bug in there where we just kind of it's a bit unfortunate. If Taft doesn't swing around a little bit, that arm is not as visible, but we probably still catch it.
Yeah, I mean, if you know you're a suspect for the Purloin, you just have to try something, anything. So fair enough. But that means the set is going into overtime. We've seen this a lot with C-Rams. And again, just looking at C-Rams' stats, you would think, oh, it's because C-Rams just trade sniper wins back and forth. But there have been a lot of spy wins in this set, actually. Every time C-Rams missed a sniper win, though, it usually kind of felt like it was sort of a rare circumstance, a really active party guest or a cough or something. C-Rams has mostly really held it down on sniper. But we're in overtime now. This is when players start to get really nervous. They start to get really tired because you just played 22 games. A game on average takes maybe what, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So you've been playing for like an hour and a half or more at this point. It starts to get very mentally tiring. Okay, so for overtime, the players are just going to pick a venue each. Whoever was the higher seed gets their venue first. So that's going to be C-Rams here, I believe. And so C-Rams going back to his most comfortable pick of Modern. It's C-Rams spying first as Duke in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Any player who gets a lead of 2 points at this point wins the set immediately.
This is one of the wildest tournament runs I've ever seen in the bracket, where it has been 3 sets of overtime in a row for C-Rams, including the first one being just like this absolutely insane set. Um, this is this is just a very special part of the tournament, and what's great about it is it's also happening because there's this breakout between the regular circuit and the master circuit, I think we call it. But the gold and below, and then the platinum and above circuit, really fabulous. Just so exciting. We are going to ditch out on this giant purloin rush because they just take us a while. But there are going to be a lot of potential purloiners at the beginning here that we can take advantage of.
Yeah, so C-Rams just going for the inspects here. It's a pretty slow start. There's so many people at the bar that you really want to get something done while the sniper is watching all of them. So I would love to see C-Rams go for some progress somewhere else right now. The sniper really has to be carefully watching every single person who was at the bar. But C-Rams not really doing anything with that. We're just in a conversation where there's nothing happening. Kane and General just leave at the same time. It looks like some sort of delegate, but it's just not anything at all. And C-Rams just idling in a conversation. Maybe C-Rams is waiting for one of the bar visitors to come to him or something like that, but nothing happens, and we're just gonna finish inspects. Now, the only good thing about that is that like maybe the sniper has you highlight for being at the bar, and then they bring you back down to a neutral light. Oh, there's a fingerprint here too. There's a difficult fingerprint, which we actually hit. So That makes it absolutely worth a visit to the statues. And maybe the sniper wasn't on top of that fingerprint because of everything that was happening at the bar. And especially because it's been smudged already, there's a chance that we get away with that fingerprint really cleanly.
Yeah, we take kind of a loopy path that looks very much like the spy, showing that they're not bugging on their way in. But we do have a path to victory right now. We have fingerprint. We have he always panics me a little bit when he doesn't take his fingerprints right away. But he's got it. Doesn't matter. He can take his fingerprint whenever. But it just always just like gets my blood pressure up a little bit. So we're gonna contact here, and then probably just go in for that flirt. Okay, wait. We did not. Okay, okay. Honestly, not taking that fingerprint late might have saved us because we didn't try to contact when the double agent left. If we took the fingerprint earlier, we might have taken that contact just a fraction of a second earlier, which actually would have been bad because double agent would have left during the action test, which is crazy.
But yeah, no, I think this is actually a good game plan. C-Rams actually did do what I was saying. He did take advantage of all the activity at the bar. It's just he was waiting for ages to get a smudged fingerprint.
Banana bread.
So I don't know if Beanie was on top of that fingerprint. No, Beanie was actually on top of it. Wow. Okay, good job to Beanie tracking difficult fingerprint there and taking a very, very confident shot on C-Rams for it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's other things like little things like if there was a I don't think there was an animation break on the sip or anything like that or the leave, but I agree that did feel really confident for what might have felt like a tricky shot, but just had a good read on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's also
interesting.
possible that Duke ignored the briefcase at the end there, right? When we left conversation, we didn't want to pick up a third print, so we ignored the briefcase. But I don't know if that's something that would just induce an immediate shot on the contact. I think Beanie must have been on top of the mission progress either way. So, okay, well done to Beanie. I mean, Beanie's sniper does not seem nerve wracked or stressed at all being in this overtime. The spy game, I don't know, doing all those really obvious bugs right at the end of each game in the past two spy games. But Beanie's sniper seems on track. Okay, it's Beanie spying as general in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Let's see if Beanie can pull something off here. I don't want to see another game where we just do a really obvious bug right at the end.
It's true. At first, I thought you were saying, "I do not want to see another game. Let me free. End this."
No, we
But
just
I think
started the overtime. We just
that's true.
started. We haven't even made it to balcony.
That's true. Yeah, I actually do. I am curious if they do a handshake on that one or not. We'll have to see. But it'd be a while because they get to in the overtime they get to draft from the pool, and there's quite a big pool in there. So we'd have to go through like other like I don't
13
know.
venues before
Yeah,
we get to balcony. And like, what are the odds that that would happen? So
it's like well, at some point there's like what are the odds? But it's like oh, but it's destined. Like when we were talking about like what are the odds we get to another overtime? It's like well, we just have to. It's just how it works with C Rams.
yeah,
But
I mean, there's something about like these overtime sets where like the players just keep trading wins and they'll trade sniper wins a lot. And then there's a spy win. And then somehow the other player also gets a spy win. And it's like, I don't know if psychologically something happens that makes players just keep mirroring results against each other because it feels like it just happens too much to just be like a coincidence. You know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. There has to be something like because the thing is like there'll be decisions that are made that like they're not trying to win or lose, but like it just must be that they do something that the other sniper is or the other player is ready
Banana
for.
bread.
So like the kinds of things like rushing a bug at the beginning, rushing a transfer at the beginning, it just like they kind of like expect like they have like a mind meld of this is what I would do if I was in this spot because we've been playing for so long and my back's up against the wall that this makes it more reliable or something like that. That it's like they're well prepared for what the other one's thinking.
Oh God, we missed a pad and we pick up a highlight. Oh God, is that, I mean, is that just for the activity for going to the bookshelf or is it because the pad miss was noticed? Well, C-Rams needs to win this sniper game to stay in. So it's possible that they just caught exactly what they needed to be able to take the shot later. Now, they don't need to shoot right now because missing a pad is not a mission. So just in case you aren't sure if you saw what you thought you saw, you don't need to shoot. But I don't know. Why would you highlight someone just for going to a bookcase? I think the missed pad might have actually been noticed.
Yeah, I agree. It feels weird for there to be the highlight without that kind of purpose behind it. So I agree. It could also just be that well, sorry, it's still because of the miss pad. This would be, but like we have a highlight because we're like not sure if we saw the miss pad. We're just keeping him in the pool. So hopefully that's the case. We're just like we're unsure about the miss pad, and then like we're just hanging out here doing nothing, which maybe over time makes us less confident that there was a miss pad and that there's other things gonna happen. But the problem is gonna be is the longer we just sit here doing nothing. Also, ooh, I think we're gonna catch the far side of that arm. We're not close enough to actually get the bug credit, anyways. That was an interesting bug. Like I have mixed feelings about it, but it was well timed to the turn. We would just have to be closer though. But and so if we're closer, the turn would be more obvious. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to have gotten a shot.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't close enough to the ambassador for the bug to take, and I think C-Rams knows that. But now it's adding up. There are multiple things now that C-Rams has seen that are not technically a mission, but okay, go into another bookshelf. Yeah, that's the mission. That gets us shot immediately, and it feels like C-Rams was just waiting for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, for sure, if we got a highlight when we're at books, and oh, I don't think we would have been able to notice this, but for sure, if we got highlighted books, we remembered where that book came from. So, not a, you just got to try stuff, but it was just not going to work based on C-Rams catching that.
All right, the overtime continues, and it looks like we're going into high rise. So we're seeing the same two venues that we saw at the start of the set. Makes sense. These are the venues the players wanted to play the most. And we're going back to high rise, and oh god, high rise went strangely when we saw it at the start of the set. So I'm worried here. Okay, C-Ram spying first as Orange Sorry in 3, 2, 1 playing it. This could be where it ends. We could see someone get 2 wins in a row here. And oh god, the
Absolutely.
ambassador is orbiting us, but even as sorry, we're not able to go for a bug there.
Yeah, I 100% agree that the players didn't feel super confident on this one, which leads to feeling swingy. So very well could be one of the best shots for this to end right here. Noting that we have transfer and purloin off on this one, so we are going to be very statue heavy on this one, and we might even try to be sneaking an inspect here, much like Beanie tried to sneak and inspect as Disney. Oh well, we're definitely seen now, just peeking around for the swap at the very least. So we are going to be seen there, and we also importantly, Serums is good to know that we're seen. So very very good there. I think that Beanie was the one that took a sieve shot on Sorry, kind of
Yes,
early
on
in the game.
sorry.
So I think maybe this pick was maybe like a mind game pick, right? If we go
I
finish
was
inspects
literally
as
thinking
Sorry.
the same thing. Yeah. I wonder if like, is there some sort of subconscious psychological thing that would make Beanie not want to shoot sorry again? Do you think Beanie remembers that? It feels like it shouldn't matter, but I don't know if there's even like a little 1% psychological effect. I wonder if that's why C-Rams picked sorry, but it's most likely just because sorry has a really good standing bug. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to take a bug. We keep walking along near the ambassador in this game, and I keep like being on the edge of my seat thinking a bug is going to happen, but C-Rams hasn't gone for it. C-Rams has just finished the inspect now, finished the flirt. I mean, obviously that makes you a suspect. It's just like it's so hard to know from Beanie's perspective. It's like, are you just going to shoot sorry when a contact happens because she has the inspects done, or do you have another suspect? We don't know, and the moment of truth will just be when we do the contact.
Yeah, and right now Beanie has to be thinking, why is there not a contact going off right now? Because there's a ton of people in conversation circle. Why didn't the contact happen when there was a giant conversation circle with a suspected DA in the back? That might come back to bite us because that kind of I would infer that the back conversation was the SD and the front conversation was the real DA. And we'll see if Beanie would make the same kind of inference because if we switch conversation circles and contact, that's going to make us look pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's going to be pretty hard for C-Rams to get a win. we never know. Beanie might just have another suspect who might get shot for having missions done, but we'll never know unless we do the contact. Ooh, we're walking so far from the ambassador that we couldn't possibly bug. We're setting up for the contact, and honestly, I wonder if a silent game with a bug might have been better, because a contact, I feel like it's a coin flip. The sniper might just shoot you. You don't know. They might. Beanie thinks about it. It's not the most confident shot in the world because, it's high rise, it's all soft tells, but Beanie just thinks about it and decides, like, yeah, the best value play is to just shoot sorry here. And that was the correct call.
Yeah, if we were gonna do a switch conversation contact, we should have just I think we should have just aimed for it when basically everybody was in the conversation circle, because that just looked like a desperate spy trying to finish. Or the other one might have been, let me give myself some more time to think about it. They might not be done with seduce.
Yeah, the timing of it was just very spy-like. So unfortunately, C-Rams wasn't really able to pull off anything particularly creative in that game. Beanie gets the sniper win, correctly shoots the orange sorry this time. And now Beanie is spying for the win in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We got red dress here. If Beanie can get the spy win, Beanie will take the set. And as a reminder, Beanie was the third highest seed below Gentlemen and C-Rams going into the postseason tournament here, but they were all like incredibly tied up in the regular season, so it was very close. And so I'm not surprised that we've seen such a close set from these two.
Absolutely. We kind of had a long AI control there for a second. I don't know why, but maybe we're just like relaxing into seeing, trying to make the AI choose stuff for us. But we just went to window at the end. We have microfilm and fingerprint off this time, so we are also going to be statue heavy with a purloin tossed in there. Um, we gotta see what. Okay, so we got two statue visitors. We're kind of eyeing up the statue visitors. Are we really gonna try to frame a green on one of them? Because we seem to be staring it down so much.
Maybe it's an interesting game plan. I think on high rise you can't really force any game plan though, because you might just end up going with the soft tells. But it does seem like Beanie has the swap in mind. Ooh, we're taking the contact pretty early. Our conversation is the one with less people in it, which was potentially scary for us, but luckily the SDA was in the other conversation. I don't think C-Rams was able to get too much from that contact, so it works out pretty well for us. We just don't have any flirt yet. And on high rise, it's going to be really obvious if we chase the seduction target around later on. Like, he's at a window reading a book right now, so we can't even join him because by the time we get there, he might leave. We really have to see where he lands, and Beanie's waiting as long as possible for that. Feels like this game has actually kind of gotten away from us. You think of flirt as being an easy mission to do, but if you don't get it done early, suddenly you realize that you just don't have the time for it. We're picking up a book. Oh, God. Okay, the seduction target comes to us and we hit a green flirt. So suddenly flirt is back on the menu, but less than a minute left. If we hit a white flirt, we might not finish. Oh God, we walked right by the ambassador there and we trusted the sniper to know that we didn't bug. That is such like a high level play because you could just get shot for it. You're really trusting that the sniper knows that you did not bug.
Yeah, absolutely. Like exactly that. I'm really worried about Papa
Green
Danger right
Berlin.
now. Oh, we got a green pearl line. Is Papa gonna take? Papa's gonna reject. Oh my God! If Papa, dude, Papa Danger might get shot. I think on this. I think Papa Danger is more suspicious than us right now. We do finish up the flirt here, so it is gonna be 10 seconds regardless, and it's gonna be between us and Papa Danger for the finish here. And like Beanie, Seagrams was really watching Pep. We're gonna have another banana bread fired off here in the end. And it's gonna be another reject. It's gonna be OT.
Oh God, it's gonna go into overtime. Does it look like Kane is playing mind games? He did the purloin, then he's doing another fake to distract the sniper. The clock is gonna hang, so you know it's a purloin at this point. Oh God, Kane actually gets low lit despite that. And I mean, I don't know if C-Rams is on top of this purloin chain or not. We're at statues. Wait, you don't want to be at statues when, oh wait, it's your first visit, so you wouldn't trigger a win. Kane takes it, and so the mission win countdown is going. We're at statues and we get shot, and I don't know if it's for the statues or for the purloin. No, it's for the purloin, right?
Dude, I don't fucking know what happened here. What was this game?
Why did Kane
Okay,
get low lit all of a sudden?
I don't know. I have no idea because it really seemed like we were watching Kane. Like if Kane had gone back to statues, almost for sure he would have gotten shot regardless. And I think we were just worried about Kane that for a lot. We were watching Kane. Kane talked a bunch in the back conversation. There was a BB right after he entered in conversation, and then there was this really crazy chain that happened that included Kane before us and that we added on to. I have no idea what that low light was for, but whatever the low light was for saved the set and the season for C Rams.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, I don't think Beanie was shot for statues because it was the first statue visit and you can't be finishing inspects or a swap or fingerprints because fingerprints are off. So I think Beanie went to the statues because it's like, well, why would a spy go to statues when the overtime is about to happen? But I don't know. C-Rams looked so ready for it. I mean, C-Rams knew it was for a purloin, clearly, so it wasn't shooting for statue visit. Yeah, the statue's not a factor. Okay. Well, C-Rams stays in it against all odds. That game seemed like it would work. I am dying to know why we low-lit Kane after everything. But yeah, the universe just has a way of keeping the overtime going. And we're moving back to Courtyard. It's C-Rams as general in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And the last time we were here, we saw 2 spy wins in a row. So I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. I don't think the trick of running around the statue in the middle is going to work again, though. So we're going to have to see something different.
Yeah, and with general general play on Courtyard, we still do have. We're going to go straight into statues. It looks like it's going to be kind of a faster game in general, so to speak. Are we going to hit this inspect on the side one before Duke picks up? We do just barely. That would have actually been really annoying for us if we had to come back to statues again, especially since we seem to be trying to go for pace here. So and then of course like trying to just do a walking bug. But see the thing is like straight up walking bugs on Courtyard are often pretty tricky to maneuver. There's this the reverses where you kind of have like a body in between you on the corner sides where there's like the etching of the apple and the fruit or whatever that thing is, the honeycomb thing. Those often work a little bit better. Yeah, I'm just curious. We are slowing down now. I was thinking this was gonna be kind of a rush game, but we seem to be taking the foot off the gas just a little bit, but then started moving again right as I said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you start with the inspects, it's like, yeah, you want to go for a rush because picking up a highlight for statues is going to mean that it's really hard if you just play a slow game for the next 3 minutes. We're picking up a briefcase here. It is off screen. Like, just put it down. Just put it down before the sniper sees you. But no, C-Rams doesn't have any confidence that the sniper won't rotate over and see it, so he can't go for something like that. But at this point, it's just a lot of very standard mission progress. It's an easy shot to take for a sniper if you just finish with, inspect some fingerprints.
Yeah, the main thing that would happen to get away with this is if there's other people that are being extra suspicious that's drawing our attention away from the high profile nature of going for fingerprints, inspects, contact, and flirt. It doesn't feel like it though. It doesn't feel like there's so many statue visitors. I guess there's a handful of highlights, but there hasn't been any increasing number.
God, we just joined our seduction target. They walked away immediately, so we're flinging our camera all over the place in frustration. It's not the end of the world. You have time to get one more flirt, and one more flirt is all you need. But we're just going to go join with the double agent here. Conversations are looking pretty full. Like, there's literally one low light available. Ooh, we take the low light on Boots, even though it looks to me like she could have split. Oh, she had a briefcase. Okay, that's fine then. That's fine. So C-Rams just needs one more flirt, one more fingerprint. The seduction target is at the window. Can we get it before they leave? Is it close enough? Yes, because it's a green test. It's definitely close enough. And we have 40 seconds to get another fingerprint. The ambassador has a drink, so he's not going to be going to the statues. Okay, the drink is gone. He could go to the statues now. Visiting a fingerprintable statue with less than 30 seconds left is a really good way to get yourself shot. He's not putting down the briefcase. He's just not cooperating with us. Okay, the briefcase goes down, but no one's going to push him out of that conversation. So I don't see how we're going to get the briefcase. I don't see how we're going to win at all from this position.
Yeah, We are. It's Purloin. Purloin's the answer, and that's going to be a really tough sell here. It is going to be green though, so there's going to be OT, and we could try to fake a swap on this one. We could try to go for Boots' thing, but it is going to be a. It's going to take on that, and then
And
Beanie
the
has
end of
all
red.
this wrapped up for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of just desperate end of the game, Purloin. Yeah, nothing really much to say about it. Sad that we weren't able to try to at least force some sort of pressure with the fingerprint. I do think that Beanie probably was going to shoot for it though.
Yeah, there was like a little bit of a hesitance there on Beanie's part, but a low light is the one who took the drink. So Beanie just needed a second to confirm, like, yeah, no, General was the last person offered. Okay, so Beanie got that win. Beanie just keeps getting the sniper wins and being slightly ahead in the overtime, but is not able to convert the spy win. So it's Beanie as Smallman this time in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Beanie just needs the spy win, and the set will be over.
And are we going to do something like a hide in a conversation after a bug or something like that for your fourth mission? Is try to get a miss shot. Interest in my mind, but we'll see. This conversation's so full for a courtyard conversation.
We're hidden right now. Like, you can't even see us from the sniper point of view. From most angles, we cannot be seen. Okay, now it opens up and you can see that Smallman is there, but it's not like he's doing anything suspicious. And it was so full that we couldn't even get close to our seduction target, so it's just a 23%
And
on
the
the
end of red.
flirt. We do get to take a contact here, though, so that's not bad. There's, like, almost no lowlights available. Green Dress is the only one who gets low lit, and she immediately goes to statues. But C-Rams is confident she did not split. So, okay. I mean, it's not bad. You got your contact done. You got a little bit of flirt. You didn't let off any low lights. That's about as good as you can ask for on Courtyard.
Yeah, and we're getting these cross conversation flirts. So if I don't think we're basically on C-Ram's radar at all, except for the fact that you always try to keep some Smallman credit in the back of your mind for something. But yeah, we've been able to do these cross conversations flirts. We won't be able to finish on one more here, so I feel like we're going to readjust at the very least. Okay, we are going to leave the conversation circle and set up maybe for a bug. Nope, we opt for looks like windows and possibly a time ad.
Yeah, Courtyard is such an odd overtime venue to pick because it's like, do you really trust yourself to get the spy win on Courtyard? And it was C-Ram's pick, so C-Ram's already failed to get the spy win. Beanie's just going to have to try for it here, but if nothing materializes, all we have are the soft tells, we have the contact done, we have the inspects. A green flirt would be really nice at this point. I don't want to have to flirt 2 more times here. There is a spot next to Sick in the conversation. Oh, we're going to go for a nice bug as we're bouncing around the ambassador, but it looks like C-Rams was on top of it. That could have worked if the bounces had just gone a little bit differently. I think it was worth trying, but unfortunately, the ambassador just bounced around in such a way that the arm became visible at the end.
Yeah, that is a bummer where we had like a collision point with them. Honestly, if we just immediately turn around, like we completely about face, I guess the arm would swing out a little bit. But yep. Also, laser just on the other side. So maybe if we just thought that okay, ambassador's in motion, and he's in motion in a way where really the only reverse threat is rocker at the statues. That maybe there's not enough coverage, and we're not really worried about a bug happening. So. Not a terrible choice, but it does unfortunately get us just shot for kind of an easy win.
Yeah, I mean, if the laser was a little bit slower coming over, if the bounce was a little bit better, it's a respectable attempt, but doesn't work. And we're going on to gallery. This is going to be Beanie's pick, and it's C-Rams spying first as Ponytail, also known as Alice, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. God, this is a really empty back of the venue. C-Ram's just going to have to be watching the ambassador journey past a sea of people looking at the paintings here. So it's a good time to get something else done. So we went to the bookcase, presumably to maybe get a microfilm or at least the flirt, but the positioning ends up being so awkward. We're standing like right inside Kane there. It's not like, a hard tell that gets you shot immediately, but it's something that the sniper could definitely notice, especially because he's your seduction target. So I'm a little bit worried for C-Rams already, just based off of that.
Yeah, and because Danger starts reading, we know we have enough time to grab this flirt at the painting pad here, which is pretty nice because it's always just a great feeling to be able to wait a little bit before joining your seduction target at the painting pad. We are going to be crammed in here a little bit, or we're going to be C-rammed in here a little bit with a couple other people at Blue Bookcase, but I don't think it's going to cause too much problems for us. We're probably being watched a little bit for a transfer just to be sure, but I think we'll be no worse for the wear afterwards. It's also funny to me that we're at 14-14. We're not that far away from like previous records of overtime.
Yeah, I think this game, it's really going to come down to like, were we noticed for that flirt at Bookcase at the start? Because if you did notice that and you made a mental note of pairing Alice with Kane, then it would be pretty easy to notice that she, joined him again at the paintings a moment later. And so it's like, if Beanie was on top of this, at this point, it's sort of like confirmed that Ponytail was flirting with Kane. And so it's going to be really hard for C-Rams to win. But
Banana
that
bread.
could just be a narrative that I'm constructing in my head, and maybe Beanie had no idea. We're going to take a contact, and it's a split, not an immediate split, but pretty quickly afterwards, and we don't get rewarded with a low light for it. Oh God, a green test fingerprint here on the book. That I don't know if Beanie will be on top of. But again, it's just a question of like, if we're a suspect, we won't be able to get away with anything. But if we're not a suspect, this could be pretty good.
Yeah, and the upside of this is there's actually a lot of people outside of conversation when that banana bread happened, but there was a lot of movement, so that Beanie actually really didn't feel confident enough to get as many lowlits as they could have, and it's actually a good thing for them because they might have accidentally lowlit C-Rams. But the flip side is they actually they're operating with fewer lowlights than they should be, given the number of people out for that banana bread. So they might feel like they're actually a little bit behind here and feel a little nervous.
Yeah, so we're joining the seduction target again. Oh, God, it's a white flirt, so we don't get it done. It would have been so nice to get it done from across the conversation, because that would not be suspicious at all if we were paired. Beanie just zooming out every moment or two, even though there's not much happening outside. So I wonder if that's because Beanie is watching us. Beanie's checking for a lot of swaps on the statues as well. The ambassador's looking really safe right now. C-Rams wants to take the contact, but is actually waiting. Oh, not doesn't want. Sorry, the contact's done. Never mind me. I'm losing track of things. It's the double agent was here, and I thought like, oh, we're waiting to do that, but no, we're just waiting for another flirt. It looks like. Um, Another flirt across convo will get it done, but there's 30 seconds left. And it's like, I don't know. If you got that green fingerprint, you want to try to finish with fingerprints, but you're not going to be able to. You finish the flirt. Pearls is just hanging onto this briefcase forever, so you're not going to be able to go do that. You're going to go pick up the statue. Presumably, the statue has a fingerprint on it. No, it does not. So we're just going to get the inspect done, and there's no way to get another fingerprint done. So we're just doing a white swap. That's not even enough to have missions to. Oh, there's another inspect that we had to wait for. Okay. I was like, why is the mission win countdown not showing up? But yeah, we needed another inspect and we just got shot anyway.
That was an interesting sequence. I don't hate that where it's like there was nobody that was there before us, but we just like had to do the swap, and so like maybe we just like try to bait out a shot in that way because we're gonna be right down to the wire regardless. That was actually really close to just being a timeout anyways, but good on Beanie for finding that little swap there at the end. If there was more happening, we might have taken us a little bit longer, but with OT, this probably can't get found.
Yeah, it was a good first fingerprint. Unfortunately, it just didn't really matter. Now, we didn't get shot immediately for the swap, so I guess I don't ever have my answer to the question of like, was Beanie on top of us for that bookshelf positioning at the start? But I don't know. Beanie was on top of it either way. So it's going to be Beanie spying for the win again as Orange Sorry in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So shockingly, we're seeing a lot more sniper wins in the overtime than we did during the regular set. This is when you would think the snipers are getting fatigued, but I feel like I keep saying, oh, Beanie won the sniper game and has to spy for the win, and then C-Rams just keeps pulling it back. I'm not sure we've even seen a single spy win in the overtime yet, have we?
Good question. At this point, this is also where my brain goes to mushroom on like what happened in the set because there's just so many games to keep track of that I'm like I can't. Courtyard was sniper, was high rise sniper. High rise was sniper. Um, modern was sniper. I think. I think you're right. I don't think there's been. I think we've been sniper party.
Yeah, I mean, I would remember if there was a spy win, right? It's not like all the games are blurring together or anything like that. So,
Right. We're
okay,
not
we
getting
started
slowly
with a
less and
nice
less
fingerprint.
coherent.
Yeah, we got a fingerprint on the briefcase. We got a fingerprint off the briefcase, and so we're just waiting in conversation here. The seduction target is not coming to the convo, but he's coming nearby. Oh God, a bug on the ambassador as he walks by us. No reaction from C-Rams for that. There wasn't really a lot of cover, was there? But it seems to have worked.
Yeah, not a lot of cover, but it's still like it's still in the bug spot, but it's kind of interesting because it's in the bug spot, but normally that's the bug spot because there's more cover as well, but it's just like the right angle. Because like there's bug spots where they're okay, those are really great bugs because they'll always be invisible, and there's bug spots where it's like this is a reliable spot for ambassador to come by, right? And so that was more of the latter, and us using that spot when maybe we were looking at other things because it didn't feel like it was the time for the bug spot. Seems like it might have worked. But, always there's the thing of like who knows, but it doesn't feel like there's any reaction. So I agree that this is actually really looking like this actually could be it.
Yeah, this could be it. I mean, the bug, the hand was a little bit visible, but we did actually have more cover than I thought we would. So it could have worked, and this could be what gets Beanie the win. But I don't know, the universe just has a way of course correcting. It's like we always think in overtime that it's going to lead to a win, and then somehow the spy just like times out or coughs or something. Actually, no, never mind. A cough would secure the win. But yeah, I mean, Beanie just needs one more fingerprint. Here's the thing. Beanie could wait for a fingerprint and then the fingerprint never shows up and then we like time out or have to do something very blatant at the end. But the ambassador did just put a book into the green bookcase, so I'm sure Beanie is eyeing that up. Now the contact is also something you need. Oh God, the green bookcase, it's going to be smudged by Rocker. It's going to be a difficult look. If you fail this fingerprint, suddenly your pacing is really behind and you might not finish. Green action test on the fingerprint. That's exactly what Beanie needed. It makes it even more likely that Beanie got away with this cleanly as well. Maybe C-Rams was more on top of that bug than we thought. Maybe C-Rams is just waiting for a contact, but the contact could be what wins Beanie the game. Question is that contact going to happen? Because the double agent is not in conversation and there's only
No,
30 seconds left.
he's going to green bookcases, and also importantly, C-Rams knows that's the real double agent. C-Rams flashed on Duke when he was out at the windows because it's like contact hasn't happened. Contact would have happened if it was anybody else. C-Rams is 100% sure that double agent is there, and Beanie is waiting in a conversation circle that will not get it. It has to be a purloin, and like you're saying, this is
It's
the
not a
universe
white.
course correcting.
It's not a white, at least. It's not a white. But, oh God. Oh, Smallman's gonna take. Are you gonna shoot Smallman for this? No! C-Rams is on top of it. I don't know if it's that for the Purloin or if C-Rams was actually on top of the Prince or the Bug after all, but C-Rams gets the shot, and it's not even because Beanie did anything horribly wrong, but C-Rams gets the shot.
No, it's the thing on gallery where it's like we actually had a good amount of time left when we let's see. So we had at 2 minutes and 22 seconds we had bug, seduce, and a fingerprint done. But gallery trying to rely on AI to do things for you on gallery, meaning we had to have ambassador drop a fingerprint, and we needed a double agent to go back in conversation circle. Did double agent was okay? Actually, I want to look at Duke from 2 minutes and 22 seconds on. Did Duke go into a conversation circle? No, Duke from 2 minutes and 22 seconds on. Was Duke ever in a conversation circle this whole game?
The
Duke was
entire
never
game.
in a conversation. No, no, no. Sorry. There's one. There
It
was
was
there
at
was
the
like
start.
3 seconds. Yeah, it's like 3 seconds. He was in a conversation circle. That was your one chance for Banana Bread Buddy. Was at from 3:43 to 3:36. You had 5 seconds. You had 5 seconds to contact with Duke. Otherwise, it was done. You were cooked the whole game. God, that's a terrible double agent.
Man, yeah, that feels bad. Beanie presumably maybe got away with the bug. We don't know. It might have been credited. Got a green fingerprint. Like, man, Beanie probably feeling like they should have won that game, and then it just doesn't happen. And if Beanie loses the set now, that's probably gonna feel like the most awful one to have lost. But it means we move on to Veranda. This is C-Ram's pick, and it's C-Ram's spying first as Duke in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, I don't know. If C-Rams manages to get the win now, I think Beanie's just going to be thinking about that gallery game. But we don't know. I don't know. Beanie might get the win in the end after all. It could turn on anything at this point. These players are so evenly matched. Okay, we're on Veranda. We got to move on from the last game. The players have to move on mentally from the last game as well. Beanie has to be on top of the sniper game here.
This is this is sincerely crazy. Just as I keep every time we've had this, it just keeps being crazier. And the funny thing is, there's even uncasted CRAMs games because of the Hypixer. We started with the second set again. There's just so many games in this bracket up through the gold thing. So one thing I'll say is it looks like gold in particular was very evenly matched. Just from like the fact that we had three players at the top of gold, from the fact that I guess also that bronze was doing pretty well in CRAMs versus Ivixer. But it just seems like bronze through gold just well suited for each other. Lots of great SpyParty, really close just all together. Man, what a weird bracket.
All right, we're going for a fingerprint on the briefcase as our first mission progress. Well, there's a 28% flirt too, but that barely counts as progress, honestly. We're walking away with the book as well. So I wonder if we're planning to put it in another bookcase later. I don't know if the sniper had a lot of mental bandwidth to be looking at who was at the bookcase at that moment. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, now this is when Veranda does really start to get dangerous for snipers, is when fatigue starts setting in and you're not as clean on it, where you might just be tempted to take a sieve shot, which is the last thing you need to do. So we'll see, because like in one theory, 5 of 8 means it's a spot where snipers can relax, but also when you know that the other player's a little bit desperate as spy, they might be just a little bit more concerned. Though I say that, and really we're not acting very desperately right now as CRAM, so maybe we have that read as well. We're not as worried about the spy trying to just go all out and finish here.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that this was an overtime game based on how the spy is playing. It just looks like a very humdrum, bog standard spy game. We did take out the book, but I don't know. I always worry about doing microfilm with a book that you got with a fingerprint on it because it's just more likely that the sniper definitely saw you at that bookcase. We could try to cheese something. I would love to see us return to the proper bookcase and then run away at the last moment. But no, we're just going to go put it in blue over here. Maybe C-Rams thinks the sniper is watching the ambassador on the other side, but the ambassador is in a pretty safe position. So it's very easy for Beanie to notice that Duke is at this bookcase. And if you were tracking Duke's fingerprint on the green bookcase at all, it should be pretty easy to know by now that he's been to 2 different bookcases. You don't need to shoot him for it, so I wouldn't expect to see a shot, but it is entirely possible that Beanie is just on top of this.
Yeah, interestingly, I couldn't tell if the pivots that we were doing from Beanie there were mostly about. We're gonna have a banana bread coming off here. That's gonna be a significant moment right here. It's gonna knock out
Banana bread.
Seek, Papa Rocker, and potentially Orange Sari. We have a drink take low light during the banana bread as well that we are able to get. See how clean those are. Some of those are actually a big deal. The Seek one is actually pretty big. Sari would be a big deal if we could get that one as well. We do. So even this is pretty mixed because I think there's not a ton of suspects left for Beanie, but it doesn't feel like that microfilm was super tagged by Beanie either. So I'm 50-50 on this one. I would take this as a Veranda game because I feel like 50-50 on it. That's pretty good for a spy, but really it's still up in the air.
Yeah, I would say if you really thought Duke did the microfilm, you would shoot on that contact because you don't know if maybe he got a bug that you missed or something, or maybe you missed the second print or something. I guess you don't have to shoot if you're really confident on your mission count, but it makes me feel like Beanie didn't necessarily know about the microfilm. So CRAM's is just going to go in for some statues here. It's a fingerprintable statue, and are we going to swap it as well? We have to, because there's not any time left. We put the statue down and run away, but the swap is very clearly visible, so Beanie is able to take the shot. I don't know if Beanie knew about the microfilm after all, but Duke was enough of a suspect to be watching at the end of the game there. That's for sure. I mean, Beanie wasn't watching if anyone bugged the ambassador at the last moment. Beanie was watching Duke at the statues. So, yeah, I don't know. Duke maybe a big suspect, maybe a medium suspect, but C-Rams just wasn't able to get it done, even with that clean microfilm.
Honestly, it's in this is in retrospect, but if we had stayed with that statue for one more cycle, that shot was really close to not coming off in time. If we had stayed for one more cycle, it might not have drawn our attention to it as much, and we might have gotten there late, and we would have a little more cover from Irish. But it ended up being close. Yeah, but that is kind of what I was expecting from that kind of the spot right there, where there's just not enough other suspects, unfortunately, for us. We got our critical suspects got knocked out by the banana bread. Through no fault of our own, we couldn't have really known that most of the people were out for that one that we needed to keep in.
Yeah, it was a decent spy game, but it just you have to go swap a statue at the end, and so that gets you shot, unfortunately. Weren't able to find, a good bug or anything earlier. Okay, Beanie won the sniper game. We still have not seen a spy win in overtime. It felt like we were going to see it on gallery, but we did not. Beanie spying on Veranda in 3, 2, 1. Playing as Teal, immediately taking control. That's right. The seduction target is right over there. We don't want to fall behind on Flirt. You may as well just go join him as soon as you can. It does mean you're going to pick up highlight for statues. CRAM's not always highlighting for statues in this set, but we did do it this time. Got the Flirt done at least, so that's something. And we're just gonna walk out. What is Beanie thinking right now? I feel like Beanie's just walking, no clear place to land in mind. We walk by the ambassador, not close enough to get a bug in any way, and we just go to the bookcase here. Okay.
Yeah, and agreed that I don't think CRAM says, "Oh, we are going to do a quick little microfilm here," and we're not looking. That felt incredibly clean. Not only is it a nice screen test, but CRAMs was very much looking at the left side of the venue. Um, yeah, let's see. Okay, so we probably felt out that highlight a little bit, but that's not a huge deal because, like you're saying, highlights for partial and specs, those are just kind of rote, especially on Veranda. So we'll be a slightly more visible, but because Veranda is a map about trying to just be actually off the screen and not being looked at, a lot of the highlighting is not going to matter for drawing more attention, except for bug. You have to be a lot more careful about your arm not sticking through the ambassador when you're going to be doing any of the side bugs. But other than that, it's probably not a huge deal.
Yeah. Now, I think because we have that highlight, we don't want to do too much activity too soon because it would be really noticeable. So we're just idling around in a conversation for a bit. I think that's the right call here. We definitely don't want to leave right now because we'd be obligated for a briefcase, but Irish is going to go pick it up instead of us. And we're just waiting. Now, too much waiting, though, we're going to start falling behind. I think we've idled long enough. We can start to go for something. The double agent actually comes to us, and I think Beanie's going to want to take this contact for sure. Since the double agent came to us, you can honestly take it as soon as you're ready to. And I would go for it. I worry that if we wait too long, the double agent will leave. Beanie does not want the contact, actually. Ooh, a little bit of a twitch entering the conversation here, but we just want to get the Flirt done. Why do you think we didn't take the contact?
We might be keeping it for distract is the only thing I can think of. And also, if we really like one of the people that are highlight that would have been out of conversation circle, we want to keep them in. But I mean, you're right because it was Beanie, I think, that got screwed over by Double Agent previously. So playing with fire a little bit there potentially, right?
Yeah, now on Veranda, you're not as likely to be screwed over by the double agent as on Gallery. Okay, we're going to the other bookshelf. We want to get the microfilm done. It's a great time for it. The ambassador was in danger in that conversation, so we went for the microfilm the moment we took the book out. Even though we're a highlight, we're not being watched at all. C-Rams is just zooming in on the guest list, looking at other things completely. This microfilm has been gotten away with very, very cleanly. C-Rams is actually just incredibly focused on Toby, more worried about a purloin than anything else. So it's nice to get the microfilm done, but there's only 90 seconds left and you still need 4 other missions.
Yeah, C-Rams, and actually I feel this is C-Rams playing Veranda kind of like I play Veranda a little bit, which is uh, not as good as C-Rams should be on Veranda. Which if you really lock down Purloin and Ambassador and you highlight for statues, you know if you guard Purloin and Bug well enough, you have a really good sense of what the threats are, and you just like don't worry about the neutralites at all if you've gotten a good enough threat lockdown on them. So it's hard to tell where Beanie's going to stand out in it, but it's going to come to a head when we actually try to do either Bug, Purloin, or Swap, likely. What's going to shake out as a result of that, because the guard is going to be so strong on this one. It looks like we are going to be stepping into its specs. Kind of feels like it might have to be a swap given the amount of time that's left.
Oh, it's a difficult fingerprint statue, but even if we get it, we're not going to be able to finish fingerprints. Swapping a front statue is really dangerous as well. It's just a question of like, are we a big suspect? I don't think so, but we're a highlight who has inspects done. It was pretty noticeable that Teal had the contact. Oh God, Beanie's just going to go for a bug at the end, and it doesn't even work because the ambassador leaves. We're going to pick up the book. Are we gonna? Oh, it's a fingerprint. Yeah, it is a fingerprint, but it's gonna trigger overtime. So Beanie's definitely gonna get shot for it. Ugh.
Yeah, if we had more time, that actually was going to be okay. But you're 100% right. Where the fingerprint happening there was just too much time, or sorry, too little time left over. But not a bad play, because if C-Rams is not on top of that, they can lose out on that. But they tracked the fingerprints well enough at the very end, and yeah, that's great on C-Rams. Honestly, they're able to keep their wits about them in some difficult spots, but that's how Veranda shakes out.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the hardest shot to take at the end, but C-Rams just needed to be on top of that party and not be distracted by anything else at the end there. And oh gosh, this is interesting. We're seeing Pub.
Yeah, was
For those who
Pup
don't quite
banned, or was it just
No,
restricted, or just not
Pub
picked?
was
It was not picked.
restricted. C-Rams restricted Pub. So Beanie is like, fine, if you don't want to play Pub, let's do Pub. Because yeah, all the other venues we saw in overtime were venues that were still picked during the regular set, but you are allowed to pick anything that wasn't banned. So we're seeing Pub. Is this where the set's going to end? That would be so odd, because Pub wasn't really part of the set until now. But okay, C-Rams is going to be spying as the twin that is not wearing any jewelry in 3, 2, 1, playing it. That is a neutral, objective description of
this
twin.
Poor twin. Poor twin, can't afford jewelry.
Oh God, I thought we were gonna bug the ambassador there, but we're not. Okay, so this is Pub, any 3 of 7. There's a lot of ways you can win this. You can just win off of soft tells. You can win off the sniper shooting someone who goes for inspects and has a real contact. You could go for a rush. We're not seeing anything like that though. But we've just been to the bar. We maybe have the option to delegate a purloin. There's a lot of activity at the bar, so we could go for it. But I don't know. This is so different from anything that we've seen all set that I'm like struggling to process. Okay, how are these players going to play this one?
Yeah, so we're sending the delegate here right after the flirt. There's a sip. God, double agent comes to us. This actually is a really interesting setup. Oh, this would be such a weird time to contact, though. It's like it's cool that the double agent came to us, but it's not exactly the right time. And we do wait. That's actually the exact right call, because the double agent situation is getting much better right now. There is only going to be a few people with real in it. Purloin is going to be happening right about the same time. The one thing that kind of is a bummer about the play that we did there, it doesn't even matter. Just a shot. Wow, he's on top of it.
Beanie was so on top of that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
not that crazy.
I guess because he did leave. He was like the only other person there.
Yeah.
But I guess I was going to ask what was the mission we were worried about for the third mission. Ambassador was next to us, so I guess we were just worried about a bug happening that we might not have seen.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of bar activity, but if you just watch everyone at the bar and see who could have sent who, and then of course we do a contact which eliminates the person who took the list. Yeah, Beanie was just watching and was on top of it. I mean, these snipers, It's a sniper party overtime. Like, that's what's making this overtime different from all the others. We're not seeing spy wins. The snipers are still on top of it 30 games in. Okay, it's Beanie spying for the win again, playing as Wheels in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Is this where we end the set? I just don't know what CRAM's sniper is going to be like on this venue. If there's anywhere to challenge CRAM's sniper, this is going to be it. The question is, how do you challenge it?
Yeah, I mean, so there's two big ways in which this could get challenged. One is throwing out coin flips, and two is excuse me, inspect finishers that get contact. That's tough, right? Because then you have to be actually pretty confident about your flirt counting. So right now there's only one inspector. I think it's sick, but we'll have to see where they end up going. But that can be really challenging as sniper to parse out. But so far there's not a ton of inspect visits.
Yeah, now, in order to take the shot on this venue, the sniper is going to be relying on some flirt tracking a bit. Maybe not tracking you, but noticing who's moving around a lot, who has places that they want to be. So we hit a green flirt. If we just wait here and hit another green flirt, it will mean that we haven't moved for like the first 2 minutes of the game. But it doesn't work. The seduction target actually leaves. We're going to have to chase her at this point, and so that really limits our options going forward.
Yeah, and Sick also went into that conversation alone first, and then got joined by other people. So it really doesn't look like he's flirting unless he just got really lucky. Red Dress does pick up and inspect here, and so there'd be a little bit more pressure. But like, other than that, I mean, we might be worried about Bug from Irish in there, but like, it doesn't. This doesn't feel like a Civ shot threatened game right now for C-Rams. C-Rams feels like they're in control of this party, especially also that one of the people that went to pick up statues now, Teal, got a really good low light on some bounces off of Ambassador. Okay, so here is
This could be
only
really
one
good.
person feels like they have real though.
Yeah, and General gets highlight for it. And I don't know if you were watching Sniper View, but C-Rams shook the laser on Smallman for a bit. And maybe C-Rams was already thinking that Smallman was the real double agent. I don't know what the shake means, but it doesn't even matter that much because it's only General. He's picking up the briefcase. Like, if that's his second fingerprint, maybe C-Rams wants to shoot him. Oh, C-Rams hates General. C-Rams hates General, but if General doesn't finish missions, there's no reason to shoot him, and then there's no reason to shoot anyone else because no one else has the real contact. So it's like, God, this could work out for Beanie, but if General's just going to stand here, no, it doesn't look like it's going to work out after all. If you haven't shot General yet, you don't have any reason to. Oh, God, a very obvious bug that doesn't even take. I don't know if C-Rams was even watching for it, though, because C-Rams hates General and has other things on his mind. We're going to try it again. But why? You can't even be missions done. I don't know why you would need... Why a bug like that? That's not even your third mission.
Yeah, that game just got away from us. We must have been looking for frame opportunities or something to mature, and that they just didn't happen. That's a bit of a bummer for Beanie there, but yep. But C-Rams did have good control of that game. Took a really critical low light on Teal because otherwise that might have actually produced kind of a bit of a threat for us. I guess they still wouldn't have had contact credit. Honestly, I think the big thing is when we took that took that fake. We would have really been. Oh, but we know that actually. Sorry, I'm going to take that back because we knew that Double Agent was outside of Conversation Circle. So it's just, I guess, a bummer that SDA wasn't in a bigger Conversation Circle. I guess that's the only thing I could say was bad luck.
Yeah, C-Rams really wanted to shoot someone that wasn't us, but it just didn't pan out. And then Beanie just gives up again and waves to the sniper with a bug. I don't know when that became the Beanie specialty, but it really feels like Beanie just knows that the game isn't going to be a win. And so just kind of just waves to the sniper. I really think that's what's happening. All right, we're moving on to a venue that we did see earlier. It's Ballroom. I think this is C-Rams picking Ballroom, even though it was Beanie's pick during the regular set, but they both like Ballroom, so that's fine. C-Rams playing as Irish right near the Ambassador in 3, 2, 1, playing it. C-Rams immediately going to take control, but doesn't work. We do have a drink in our hand. That's not what prevented us, though. It's just the Ambassador deviated away from us a little too quickly, so not going to be able to get the chaos bug there. We're just standing around in conversation, awkwardly lamenting the fact that we were not able to take a bug. Microfilm has been working out really well for both of these players, actually, but particularly for C-Rams. So I wonder if we're going to go for it here, but we're actually just going to walk away with the book. We're not going to go for the action test. I think that's a good call. The action test would have been pretty visible there. There was no cover or anything at all.
Yeah, and I think that right. So at best, this set's going to end 1917 if we get 2 wins in a row right here. I believe that was the longest set that I knew about prior to this. I think there might have been another one out there, but basically, I think C-Rams is going to have 2 of the longest sets, number 1 and either like number 2 or maybe like 3rd or 4th. In all competitive SpyParty history in the same bracket run. So not only are we hitting overtime a lot, these are long overtimes.
That bug attempt looked quite messy to me. First of all, it didn't even take because we just started it too late. So that's really unfortunate. I thought it was going to be really visible and that it could just get a shot, but it doesn't look like it did. It's a decent attempt. It's just it started a little bit too late. But looking at it from the sniper point of view now, it doesn't look like it was visible at all. So it looks like it was no harm, no foul. C-Rams shouldn't actually be a big suspect for it. Might be credited for the path, but not seen. The arm not seen.
I do
And we're
like
putting the
this
book
direct.
away.
Yeah, I think this is unexpected. This doesn't feel like a common play from these players for Ballroom, right? Especially at this stage in the game. So very well that we could have gotten caught out on it, but
Mhm.
yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Is Seduction Star gonna join us at statues? No, not quite. Not quite that lucky. But we will be finishing at least somewhat soon, I would suppose, with the flirt. Although I say that double agents outside conversation. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. We caught the transfer apparently. Or did we
Yeah.
3 cycle? Also,
Did
maybe
we
that was
cycle? Huh.
Let's see, 1, 2. We may have just entered a very tail end, but it seemed like we were probably just waiting. We knew we didn't need to shoot, and it was probably caught transfer.
Yeah, I guess Beanie was on top of the transfer after all. It doesn't surprise me. It's not that hard to catch a transfer like that. So, okay, Beanie gets the sniper win. If Beanie can finally pull out the spy win, they will take the set. But we have not seen a spy win in overtime. That's actually crazy. That's actually really, really surprising. We saw tons of spy wins during the regular set, but not in overtime. Okay, Beanie's playing as Buns in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. Take control. Bug the Ambassador. Can we? No. Beanie correctly realizes that the Ambassador is a little too far behind us. We would have to stop very obviously to make sure that the bug lands, or we'd have to be walking in front of them with our arm waving to the sniper. So these players are showing a lot of restraint, not going for the immediate bug just because they started near the Ambassador. I could never. If you give me the option to right click, I'm always going to right click. But that's why these players are better than me. God, imagine if C-Rams gets into Platinum next year. I wonder if there's going to be all of these super long tied sets up in Platinum.
Oh, that's a great question. Because the promotional matches must already happened. So Jet was an auto promote, and there would have been matches. I think for has C-Rams had their promotional match yet? That's
I'm not
terrible to
sure,
think about the
actually.
fact that there could have been there might be another C-Rams super long overtime match gonna be floating out there. But I would assume by now they've already played it. So we'll have to check in on that. But yeah, no, it would be a terror to be up in Platinum for sure and have these super long matches.
But yeah, I mean, it's just something about C-Rams. I mean, his sniper wins a lot, so he can trade sniper wins. But something about C-Rams just seems to trigger these major overtime games a lot. We returned this briefcase to the Ambassador. In this case, I think there was room behind him. There was enough space to return it, but we didn't get a fingerprint off of it. So all we have is half a microfilm. not actually a ton of time left on the clock. It's like we want the contact, but we want the conversations to be a little bit more full. We don't know it, but sorry, the suspected double agent just changed convos, which makes the contact even better now. But Beanie is still not taking the contact. Oh, wait. Did we? Okay, did we land it on the pad? I wasn't sure. I thought maybe we were like slightly off it and weren't going to be able to flirt, but no, I'm just imagining things at this point. Oh, weird little path around Damon. And what are we going to do at this point? There's just over a minute left. We need the other microfilm, another flirt. We need the contact. Like, if you don't take the contact now, I don't know if you're ever going to get it. Do you just time ad at this point? We haven't seen many time ads this set, but if there's ever a time for it.
Banana bread.
Yeah, this is an interesting. I think you were actually right, by the way, about the. I think they had a twitch onto painting pad to get to that flirt.
Okay, I'm not imagining things.
I think I saw the same thing as I think I saw like a little twitch on there, but they barely missed the pad, so it was very not noticeable right on the edge. So I don't think we're going to be any worse on that one. Okay, so we are going to be finishing up the. Oh, and we're actually going to get a little bit of cover here. Actually, not that much. Our arm is still pretty visible in there. We're going to catch that. C-Rams is very well positioned for it. 100% we were lined up for that one. There's the shot. That's a bit of a bummer. If General was just a little bit more over, might have made it more tricky. But C-Rams is just in such a good window into the arm right there that even the green test was not going to save us.
Okay, well, that means the overtime continues. We're moving on to Terrace. This is something that we also did not see during the set. Now, these players did actually play Terrace last time they played in the regular season. Beanie did pick Terrace, but they just traded sniper wins on it. So we'll see if the same thing happens here. Again, we're starting right near the Ambassador, but it is not a great venue for a time of chaos bugs. So C-Rams playing as Red Dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, we take control, but no, we do not go for the bug. It would not work. Here's the question. How many more venues until we reach Balcony? I feel like we've gotten through most of the venues right now. Actually, we have not been to Tayan. Tayan is not banned. Actually, did we see Aquarium in the overtime? I don't think we've seen Aquarium or Tayan in the overtime. So I think that's what would be coming up next. But I guess I should stay focused on Terrace. There's no reason to think we're going to see more games. I mean, this is overtime. It could end at any moment. So
yeah, I'm just like going through my head now. I think over the past like 3 weeks, you and I might have casted like 150 games of C-Rams or something, like 130 maybe, something like that. Because there was like 80, there's gonna be like 40 in this set. There was 17, 14, and I guess there's actually because we didn't actually cast the other parts of the Hypixel C-Rams ones. There's only 14 games in that one, but well over 100. Just so much power. It's like I honestly I'm like numb to it almost at this point. The fact that this is I think now the second longest set in SpyParty competitive history that I know about, because it's gonna be at the very least 2018. That's just insane.
yeah, and I mean, it's not surprising when you look at the stats. C-Rams just has a really great sniper, but their spy win rate is just much lower than the average. So it really leans into having sets like this. But at some point, something has to break one way or the other, you would think. But I mean, credit to Beanie being able to play. We're at nearly 40 games now, and to still have all your mental faculties fully turned on. I mean, Beanie's been winning all the sniper games as well and has come really close to winning some of the spy games too. We're not really seeing panicked, stressed out play from either of them on either side, honestly. But this is Terrace. This is a venue that can come down to coin flips. And so if the sniper's feeling nervous at all, they might take a panic shot on a civilian. C-Ram setting himself up pretty well to finish missions as well, though. We have partial progress on a lot of missions here.
Yeah, and I want to echo the point that you made is that in these sets where we've had these long sets, we really are seeing the other players step up and really just start delivering on some really amazing, incredible play. So we've seen Bryce have incredible play, Hypixel had incredible play, and now Beanie. Ooh, speaking, while we are doing that, General's path around Ambassador felt buggy to me. We might have a little bit of concern there, and that would really throw us into a bad spot if we have a Civ shot coming off in Terrace.
Yeah, but it's just going to be C-Rams swapping a statue
We're,
instead,
it's not gonna
actually.
happen. We're not gonna do the shot. This is gonna this completely catching Beanie off guard. That is
Wait, what?
amazing timing. Okay, so I mean that's a bold. That's like it's like a random thing, right? Where it's not a frame. That is well, actually, I take that. It could be a really late frame on white dress, but it had been a long time since she had been there. And we inspected before we did the swap, so I think we were aiming for a green, but we didn't hit the green, or maybe we thought there was a fingerprint on there. And this like Beanie, this is where I actually think Beanie is tired, and we do see a spy win finally. Also, Beanie is
Yeah,
tired and not checking his corners, right?
I just wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, okay, C-Rams is going to go finish the inspect. And then I just see mission win countdown pop up on the screen. I'm just like, wait, what? Was there a fingerprint? No, it's just a swap. And I don't know. I mean, it's a white swap. Beanie had no reaction to it. Maybe Beanie is finally getting tired. Okay. For the first time, we saw a spy win in overtime, which means C-Rams is the one who's 1 point up. C-Rams just needs to get the sniper win now to take the set. And that's very possible to see. All right. It's Terrace, Beanie spying as green dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And maybe this is the C-Rams special. You play C-Rams, he's going to make you go to 30, 40, 50 games of overtime. He's going to wear you down, and then eventually you're just going to drop one game. And the test, if you're playing against C-Rams, is can you endure that? Can you still be on top of everything after 40 games? Beanie, for just a moment, wasn't on top of something, and now they're on the back foot. And Terrace, you can get spy wins here, but it's usually like a 50-50 coin flip if you do. So it's a scary position for Beanie to have to guarantee a spy win right now.
Totally, yeah. 50-50s and just like really invisible bugs are just like really what stands out, or just like those spots where you just throw something out at a truly unexpected time, and it's just really tricky. There is a bug-ish path by salmon there, but I don't think we're gonna be too worried about it. We were able to zoom in. I think we have it guarded. So I'm trying to think of like the liabilities here, where this feels like the kind of game that C-Rams can lock down and is kind of built for. I think that their reluctance to play on Terrace was more their reluctance to be a spy on Terrace, and I think that they suit the sniping style for Terrace well. So again, but he might be getting tired himself. But I completely agree. Like that was a fatigue moment where it's just like not checking at the right times. I think actually there was another. Which player? I don't know if you remember which player lost to not checking statue on Sari. I think that was Beanie actually won the spy game on that one where C-Rams didn't check it quick enough, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, on Courtyard. Yeah, that was definitely Beanie. And then Beanie ran away around the statue, I believe. Yes. All right. So Beanie, I think, lost the highlight for being at the bar, but has now picked up the highlight again. So we have the option to delegate if Beanie is on top of potential frame targets. Oh, no, it was actually for a fingerprint that we went to the bar. We tried to get a difficult fingerprint off the drink, but it didn't work. This is the difficult fingerprint that you need as Beanie, but Beanie wasn't able to get it. And it's 75 seconds left for Beanie to find some way to stay in this set. It's not that if they win this, they win. It's just that they stay in. I think this could be it. Oh God, the contact is coming off. There's only, what, 4 people who could have a real contact, and Beanie is one of them. A minute left. What are you going to get done here? It's too late to frame anyone with the purloin. It's too late to get fingerprints done. Going statue to statue will surely get you dead. Swapping a statue will surely get you dead. The best play is maybe a bug, but we're a highlight still. Even though it's been a while since we've been to the bar, we are still a highlight. It's going to be hard to get away with a bug. It's going to be hard to get away with anything. I think Beanie is just thoroughly choked out here by C-Rams, and C-Rams will be on top of it. But 20 seconds left.
Yeah, are we gonna? So we don't seem to take the opportunity for potential swap frame on our seduction target. So it seems like we were 100% in on. We gonna fake again? I think
What's
fake
that gonna
again.
do?
Just
It's
like
8
pray.
seconds left. Beanie's not able to do anything. Beanie's going to go for the classic last second bug on the ambassador. The arm is going to wave out again.
Woo!
And just like every other time, C-Rams is able to take that shot. And C-Rams finally pulls out the win and takes the set. Congratulations to C-Rams for winning the postseason championship of the regular circuit. All of the top players from bronze, silver, gold were in this. C-Rams has come out on top, pulling the C-Rams special, forcing you to play 40 games until you're mentally so tired that you can't keep up and you drop one.
What's crazy is if Taft blocks that bug just a little bit longer, because it after Taft leaves the line of sight, I feel like we still probably were the shot because I don't know who else could really be done. But there's a chance, there's a world in which that doesn't finish up that way. But yeah, Terrace is just hard to wrangle. Congrats, well, first of all, congrats to Beanie for making it to the finals of the regular circuit, playing all the way, like obviously could have won this, right? Came within a hair's breadth of winning this, but just destiny was calling out to C-Rams from the very beginning of this bracket. It had to be C-Rams after that one incredibly long set, and after another incredibly long set, and then finishing on an incredibly long set. This is a absolutely legendary run that we will talk about it'll just get referenced because it'll be the shorthand for one of the craziest things we've seen in a bracket like this. Congrats to both players. Congrats to everybody that was at this championship. This was a really memorable regular circuit.
Yeah. And yeah, we were talking earlier about if C-Rams is going to be in Platinum next season. I think it's allowed to say this, but yeah, C-Rams did get the promotion match up to Platinum. So it's going to be Gentlemen in Platinum, moving up from gold. C-Rams moving up from gold to Platinum. Beanie, though, Beanie, I'm not sure if they will be in Platinum or not. Clearly, they can hang with the best of them. I mean, Beanie beat Gentleman just last week in the postseason and then kept up with C-Ram. So it'll be a little sad if Beanie doesn't get into Platinum next season. But I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just don't win the crucial result that you need. Okay, so that's today's match. This was the regular circuit. So if this was the regular circuit, tomorrow we have the bling circuit. Yeah, tomorrow we have the Masters circuit, as it's called. That was the same sort of postseason tournament happening for only platinum and diamond players. And the finals of that are happening. The finals of that are happening tomorrow between Rov and Astatine Effect. That stream tomorrow is starting, I believe, 1 hour earlier than the stream started today. So that's going to be, I only know it's 2 p.m. EST. You can convert it to your time zone. It's starting whatever time it is now, minus 4 hours, but tomorrow for the Masters Circuit finals.
Absolutely. And that is going to be a very hype set. I'm very excited for that one. And then that will be the last of the SpyParty competitive league casts. But Winter Cup started while this was going on, so there will still be competitive SpyParty cast for the foreseeable future as we kind of transition into that set. And then hopefully, I guess there'll be a tournament maybe at some point after that, but we might be in a little bit of a dead spot. Someone got to go make a tournament so that we keep having stuff to do after Winter Cup.
Yeah. In addition to the Winter Cup, the Penguin Pool will be running at the same time. So anyone who got eliminated from the Winter Cup or anyone who was not in the Winter Cup at all can still join the Penguin Pool until this Monday. If you are new to SpyParty Competitive, you can join the Discord, discord.gg/SpyParty, and just introduce yourself and ask for help, and people will direct you where you need to go. But yeah, the Penguin Pool is a super casual way to start playing some competitive matches. So if anyone's interested, please check that out. But otherwise, yeah, tune in tomorrow for the Masters Circuit finals. Thanks to Nebula for not only running the event, but for hosting the stream today. managing the scoreboard, the camera, preparing all the graphics, and everything. It's a silent job, but a very important one. And yeah, that's it from us. Have a good afternoon.